What's going on? Welcome back to ZefTV. Just going live with the Marble Rivals Championship Season 1 Grand Finals between 100 Thieves and Sentinels. I saw that they've been cool with co-streams all season, and I thought it'd be fun to kind of just stream and check out the finals together. So strap in, grab yourself a snack or a drink or both, enjoy the show.
Welcome back, everyone. It was fun to get eyes on console for a bit. I believe we'll be moving forward here to a rivalry that we have been seeing at this level of play consistently, and it is a ton of fun to watch. I cannot wait to dive in. How are you feeling, buddy?
I can't wait either. I'm feeling good. I mean, that was a lot of fun. I think that the console scene is thriving and is very well right now for sure. So we'll have to see how.
Oh yeah, they just showed the lower bracket finals from
up their tournament as well
the console tournament.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, we were curious to see how that shakes out.
I think it's cool that they have it going on simultaneously. I worry, you know, I think the long-term goal would be to merge it similar to what like Halo Reach has done, where you can be console or PC or combined.
Absolutely insane.
But at the pro level, it's all
in the past
console.
Sentinels and 100
because
Thieves,
bullet magnetism and aim assists have outweighed skill, but they have buffed mouse and keyboard enough that some pros are like on the edge of being able to compete with mouse with controller. It'd be cool if that's realistic, but the gameplay between the two types is just so it's just so different, the way that you play with one or the other. So to me, it's always strange when they try to merge it.
I think for sure. Consider
at the same time, it's also strange seeing two different separate finals. Like, I haven't checked, but I hope the North American, Asia, and European finalists get to play off against each other.
Versus Eno yet again. Deep Dive looking pretty good right now.
Oh, they are going to show round 3.
Because obviously we're still looking forward to that grand final ship. I get you.
I guess they're trying to extend this out.
For Deep Dive right now, we'll see how these bans and protects kind of shape out for both of the teams.
Yeah, back into the console scene. I'm down to get more eyes on this as Deep Dive has been looking
at this point, they might as well show the best of
right
7.
Now, so that is going to be what you want to see. If I'm a Deep Dive fan, and this is the kind of level of play, just seems consistent, walking through these points, looking very strong on that Hella. I'm curious if we're going to see that ban, but right now the bans are looking very consistent. We are going to lock in the Bucky instead of him being gone, so that's going to be a change
Rocket
up right
Raccoon,
now.
Groot, Magneto,
and that's
Luna
going to be
Snow.
the change up indeed. We'll see if it pans out for the side of Dive, who are now up 2 in the series right now.
Ban Loki.
I mean, they want to play that triple strategist comp. We've seen it. They changed it up towards the very end, though, because it didn't really work out for them. But Deep Dive kind of just ignored it. They just didn't even really care. Triple strategist comp, and it'll pan out for them. So Magneto banned on the other side. Don't want to play against Deep Dive's Mag. It's just kind of fair. Miyo was doing so much work, like you said, previous ship. And now a Star-Lord banned on the other side to make sure that Guardians comp in full will not be played. And honestly, you can't feel too bad about that if you're Deep Dive, considering how well Nuke has done so far, and now
so if they hold this
as well to make sure Water gets to play yet another hero. He's played Namor, he's played Wolverine. Now he's going to go over to the Bucky.
So Bucky, Strange, Luna, Hella,
he's shown some flexibility.
Absolutely. Woman. Outside of that, Quest just seemingly able to play
versus
the thing in
Rocket,
every game, and
Punisher,
shutting that down,
which is like my favorite combo by far.
It's finding a ton of value, some great setup there. Nuke on the Hella once more is going to be a sight to see as we push through on Yggdrasil. This is a very 0.1 heavy map. When a team is very consistent and confident, we see them shutting the enemy down on 0.1 very consistently, and we know how strong Deep Dive can be. So let's see if they're able to do that now. But we will be having eyes on a Cloak and Dagger, at least so far for I know. Not sure that's going to stay, and it's immediately gone. That's a caster curse situation right there. As we have seen a little bit of that in the MRI.
16 seconds.
Just not quite there on the pro scene yet. People aren't 100%
Deep Dive
confident
on defense. They're up 2-0 in the series.
But that blind is no joke. That damage.
Like we're watching from Bucky.
So maybe we'll see more of them.
Bucky the Vampire Slayer. Holy crap! I see what they did there.
Yeah, not right now in Deep Dive on the defense.
I didn't realize until now.
To put Miyo onto the Doctor Strange instead of the Magneto.
Feels bad.
That might be the change up that Eno needs, because look, they're going for that Venom dive. They're going to create some space.
Bucky
and it's
building some ult from the back line.
A struggle, right? We saw this in EMEA, at least on PC.
Oh, okay. So Namor
can really disrupt so much, especially for strategist players. So
Namor, and they switch to Venom.
Backline healthy while Water pumps out damage on the front line.
And there's the tackle. Water once
big
again.
pick on
nice
Invis.
pick. Doesn't even need the Wolverine. Can get the job done.
Is that Invis?
Bucky,
No,
who was
no.
locked in by them in this game, coach.
What was that?
With a great job here on the Invis.
Oh,
we
it was
saw a
the
lot of success here, but unfortunately just on the dual side, just really popping off here for deep dive. Nuke and Water, just a threat for sure across the board. Trying to see Zen here.
First point, you pretty much just have to win one fight.
At this point, just got to take that off angle height and try not to fight too much through the front line as we do
We're
have
going for a flank here.
as well for all Trexy. And there goes
Pushing in on the healers. Oh, he gets the Luna snow pick. They're down to one healer.
JT, who is going to go down, but Yo-Yo turning that around on Zen.
And they get Zen again.
Time, or at least a dive out is all Trexy. Excuse me, with a tackle there to put them up in the sky.
All right.
Made it look like a clobbering
Looks
time
like
play.
Eno's going to get this
Trexy
push.
It's a good decision to try to shut that down, but not with the cooldowns. Nice follow up there by Sylvian to get a couple more. That's a two-piece, and that could be enough to drive
so
them
Eno's going to get first point.
Yeah, that might be. I mean, they'll have the portal to come back now, but so many ultimates for Eno, and they should get a big Eye of Agamotto if they even do come in. And yeah, no, they don't. Did they use the portal earlier or something, Shiv? They must have,
Not using
right?
portal.
I didn't see it. Maybe it was a discussion around
grabbing the high ground.
The first duelist that goes down, make that switch for your team. I'm not sure.
I was going for a flank here.
He might have already
a little bit dangerous.
So able to make that change over.
Oh, they know about her too. They heard her.
Sylvian trying to turn that 1v1 back. Does get the job done. Getting some vengeance here on a nuke. Well done. As Water still kind of holding that front side, but that off-angle pressure there is annoying to handle. Water trying to take this. Who wins this 1v1 in this moment? And that's going to be Water with a nice shot there.
Bucky with a big kill there.
Great pull in here to shut that
ult.
down. The thing going to get rid of that dive. Cannot escape with the web
four,
right there. Simply from
four
the
ults, almost 5 ults for Legacy.
To stay in the fight. Marvelous going to drop Water, and once again,
they're looking good right now.
To look pretty good on the attack here with an ult advantage.
They're looking really good.
Yeah, they're kind of just shoving it in right now into deep dive, and it's been really tough for deep dive to really find any.
You're shoving it in.
Ground to stand on. They've just been constantly pushed back by these duelists and.
I feel like that. I feel like a tight doorway like this is just like
you said, and he's just been.
It's got to be Namor. Like, it's actually strange. I don't play enough Namor. I'm still learning him, but feels like that's like a perfect place for him because you can just put the 2 turrets above the doorway, and as you walk through it, you're just getting bombarded.
And here comes the thing. The Haymaker's out for days, trying to find some value. Good punch.
All right, Eno's a little bit split up here. Namor's dead.
To get a little extra damage. Down goes Zen. Quest with an early take here. Good turnaround, trying to have deep
dive looking like they're gonna get a hold here.
Defensive position as well.
Actually,
a lot of teams holding on here. 100 Thieves.
5v5. I take that back.
For some reason, they always
got
shut
this.
teams down here, but not going to be enough as Nuke takes out Sylvian, but Altrexy finds 2, and the numbers are back in the favor of I know. We're still trying to hold on. Good tackle here, unfortunately.
Looks like Eno's going to pick up the second point here. Good ult management. They've still got Namor ult and Hella ult, so 2 DPS ults.
That Astral Flock by a couple of seconds to make her a little more vulnerable onto the dive.
Eye of Agamotto and Bucky. He's going to pop it early.
The Kraken.
And he's dead.
Water while it's happening, and that's not going to make a ton of
that's the end of that.
happen. Will they get a portal block out, or is this going to be a hold? As I'm surprised.
No, this should not be a hold.
Right now.
Yeah, they're still staying in. I mean, they have a huge.
They did get the hold, huh?
With the fate of the worlds to keep everybody healthy. So
I'm very surprised by that.
They just knew something that we didn't. They came back in with that ultimate and the combination with Yo-Yo. Water, you would think like, okay, why is he coming to the Kraken impact? But the rest of the team there with the follow-up, that was clean. By the strategist and Vanguard again for deep dive, which we've talked about them so much. So Yo-Yo,
okay, 2.5 minutes,
able to get as much value as he did earlier. Oh my God, look at the aim assist, just able to shoot down.
Eno now have the ult advantage again.
Yeah, good attack here, and I like this positioning. Coach going to follow up here, trying to find some more value up into the height.
Just getting in position for heals. We got Thing on the front line. All right, Namor pushing. Here comes the ult. Should be coming up soon once they group up in the back here.
2 minutes, enough for at least 3 to 4 fights with a retake potential from the teleport from from
you would think that they would pop ults while they have the ult advantage. Yeah.
Will they be able to follow up?
I don't know if they realize it or what.
Good positioning here by Pog. You've got to stay back with that hit scan when you're on Luna. You have a ton of positioning in space. Oh, marvelous. Taking out Water early could be a nice change of pace here as they are walking in. I know Legacy with 2. You have the whale available if they need it, but they may not even need it as Sylvian finds another. Quest goes down, and at this point they're walking this thing in. Nuke goes down, and that's going to be point 2 as I know Legacy is shoving through here.
And their Namor still holds the whale. Like he's somebody that I respect it though. Like he's somebody that saves it for like an actual point where it's going to be useful. I do think he should have used it. Maybe like 2 minutes ago, right? As something to help hold on to the fight. He would have had it again by now. Sometimes you can
goes down for free to Altrexy.
Be looking a little bit too much for the perfect
Need some support there from the strategist. Somebody's got to turn around for your Hella, and nobody did. I mean, you can't just go down for free like that.
And you definitely would have had another one by now.
Of Deep Dive right now to keep the back line healthy, to keep that Hella healthy. And right now, I know Legacy just continuing this presence on the card.
Yeah, good pressure here, Sylvian, keeping that up at this
nice
point.
Invisible
it is going to be an even spread in terms of alt advantage. Coach did have to pop that.
LB Hella gets the pick. Nice that pick alone might win him the whole fight. If they turn that into a two kill, yeah, that should be it. Eno should get 3-point out of that. We'll see what happens, but they should be able to stagger him home from here.
And at this point, it looks like the
all right, now does he pop out?
Both sides, and it's now back in I know Legacy's favor on this attack.
And here comes the whale.
Ayabagamotto, he's been big before. Water on the front line, able to get one with the Kraken impact.
And they're getting pushed off.
Walk back into this. But that's straight.
Why does he not use his ult? He just doesn't believe in it. He's just like, yeah, name or else, it's a waste of time.
Minute 30 seconds left to go. They do better on the aggression, but I know really.
Am I like missing something? Is he seriously not popped that ult?
Presence by them. From Altrexy specifically, Altrexy has been
like now he's at the point where he could have had 3 of them.
Yeah, good idea here again, and once more gonna have.
He's somebody that literally only will pop it if they're all grouped.
This next fight, this could be enough for them to commit to get this W. Not sure if the teleport was used yet for Yo-Yo. Could be a wall block here. Here comes the Ayabagamotto.
Like to me, if nothing else, it's good at controlling space. If you don't think you're gonna land it.
JT Cool once more. Sylvian really popping off on this. Oh my goodness, Coach dropping Pog, and that could be enough to hold on as they're keeping this space up. Make it 2 more. As water goes down, and just
hilarious.
keeping the pressure on. Down goes Quest, and now if they get that teleport block off, they.
I don't understand. I don't understand why you can.
Yes, it is. That could be enough to walk it through. Ooh, I'm not sure if it missed. It might have missed that right side. They'll have to stack over there now. Yeah, he's just gonna stand there.
They need to
as much damage as possible. The whole team coming out at this point.
They need to nerf that ability so that it can't be used within 5 meters of a
and that could be
of an exit.
Great play here for Zen to take out 3.
I never understood why you could fire through those exit doors though. Like the barrier doesn't block projectiles.
I know it's really good there. This changeup is working for them quite well. I think the duelist as well kind of just locked online. I don't know how easy it is to get warm on the sticks.
I don't understand why Namor didn't.
Sylvian slowly got back to kind of playing to the level you would expect out of a top tier player. And right now, the only downside for Ino is, how can they do this on defense, right? Can Altrexy
I can understand why
Venom on this defensive angle because
Punishers don't ult sometimes, and I can understand why even like a Hella might hold ult until there's good position because like
that could be
Punisher's ult pretty much makes him vulnerable to dying a lot faster. Hella
straight up throughout the map.
Ult can pretty much just be a time sink waste.
Shift. I mean, I think it might be a confidence thing. They started looking good, and then they just swept everyone. It looked like the duelists off the rip were heavily in the favor of Deep, at least for the first 2 fights, and we thought it was going to be a repeat of last match, and then I know Legacy just turning it up. Zen looking really good. Even the backline Cam looking really good. Sylvian turning all those fights right back into Nuke and getting Ws. Nuke now going to be on a strategist in the backline on Luna is definitely a crazy change. You rarely see that on the PC counterpart, a full shift in position, unless it's like a Warlock or something, So definitely a cool change of pace here to see how that works out for him.
Yeah, maybe JT Cool is the Adam Warlock specialist for this roster.
Here we go.
Deep Dive now going to walk out, not even opting for going into the Hella duel, which is kind of brutal considering. I mean,
Deep Dive going for a 3-0 lead.
I'm curious to see if this pans out for Deep Dive. Triple strategist we know on PC does work really very well. Maybe if it has a similar effect on console, we'll have to see.
Oh, we got the pull.
Water, nice hook as well. Onto the Doctor's Ring. So much pressure already.
They got the kill.
My God,
wow.
That damage up was crazy.
Good attempt.
That'll get the card around the corner up here.
Not gonna follow up even more, but it was a good early pick. They're keeping this space for it. Out goes the Bond. Long cooldown, tries to get the pull. Unfortunately, there's Water. Was very close to that Hella, but very weak again onto the Namor. They're full 1 HP. Really good take there from Water to fight 2, and that should be enough for the early push.
That's gonna be the whole point.
Deep Dive is trying to push this to 3 to match us up and push it.
I mean, they're gonna stop it for a second, but they're gonna get staggered doing so. I think.
On the outside, he said, "No, screw that. I don't care." Meanwhile. Portal was used
not
somewhere,
a good hook.
I think, to block maybe on this outside or a scout. Regardless, somebody's touching for the side of Ino. They
wait, they didn't actually get
kind of stalling it out with Marvelous, but there's so much damage onto them right now, onto this front line, onto these Vanguards. Zen, huge pick off on the JT Cool, but I'm sure he's going to self-res back into the fight.
Yeah, good position here by the strategist line here to look through this doorway and keep that front line available. And that's a good attack there by Quest. Water following up. Get in there and make sure the strategist can't do anything. Up they go with the...
I think he almost used it on the...
I
think he almost used it on the Namor.
Down goes Marvelous. Numbers back in their favor. Zen holding this high side. Potentially a whale here that can be game-changing.
Can't believe they held him there.
By Zen onto JT Cool. And it's back and forth attack.
There, he used ult this time.
There goes the throw. And Zen is holding on to this point, but it's still in the favor here of Deep Dive. Water gonna find another. Still in this fight, make that 2, and that's enough to push through point 1.
Point. They've got just stagger. Just stagger.
It's gonna be tough to kind of close out, considering how much we've seen Water get done already. You know, I didn't even need the full
Venom up
impact
top.
of the Kraken impact to just be able to pump out that much damage. Now for Rhino Legacy, rather, they are now in the street phase of the map against the Venom on the other side for Quest, right? So Quest swapping over the Venom has it.
Venom gets pulled in by Bucky, has to use his shield, and it's not much done out of that.
Some nice healing, though. That's
Alright, they're going to get the first corner pushed here.
Right now. Make sure he's able to do as much as he's been doing on this Bucky throughout the rest of this map.
Yeah, and here comes the tackle.
See
Great
ya.
dive there onto Sylvian. That's a nice early pick here again. Deep dive playing off of this Venom a ton. You gotta love this orange Venom popping up here recently. Good follow. Water
just
2 off that.
ulting right away.
Into the entirety of the squad. Great Eye of Agamotto, but an even better invisible boundary to keep the team up.
Didn't kill him fast enough for a reset.
Gonna keep this pace forward. There goes the tackle onto Strange. Strange in a very weak position goes down as Pog finishes that up. And again, at this point, Deep Dive is showcasing why they are up 2-0 and trying to make sure they tie this and push it to OT again.
Yeah, I think they're gonna do it too. And
yep,
oh my god,
the second
Sylvian
point.
Just took the brunt of Water's bullets. I think he
I
was
thought that Venom
actually
get killed.
Venom,
Okay, so he didn't even get killed.
He just peeks the angle. Water's there with the follow up, and man, this guy is just absolutely on a tear right now.
Eno is so spread right now.
Legacy
They're just gonna have to take
Water,
the deaths.
Ever since switching to this Bucky, he hasn't really looked back, man. I mean, he's just been frying.
Yeah, really well played here. Water is on a rampage. I mean, they finally are getting this Bucky through, and now we're seeing why it was important to them to get that Bucky through. Sylvian
and
is
Warlock going for some poke.
But Water, at least so far on this attack, has shown to be a more aggressive in terms of pick potential.
I don't understand why this Venom
right
keeps
now.
pushing up
Could be on
strangely.
Hela. Now Hela completely off on both sides, not getting picked at all.
Trying to get some intel, but I feel like
Bucky just gets so much value.
He could have like climbed up the wall and gotten better.
Not sure if it was banned out, but JT Cool getting some good value here as well. Ready to hit that Bond. Bond is up off cooldown, does have res as well. This
How are they pushing him back so far?
Deep Dive does have ult advantage. If they make this happen here, potentially portal out.
I just feel like Eno just gave them so much turf
as there's 22 seconds in the
for free.
Almost 4 full minutes here from Deep Dive on this attack. And now
big kill.
As Altrexi goes down, Great Eye of Agamotto. Will they get enough follow up there? The damage boost, but no. Sylvian does get 2 though. Nice turnaround here on the Bucky. We mentioned more value on the side of Water, but now Sylvian says it's my turn.
Getting a
and
hold.
Forces them back to the spawn door.
Headed back again. 3 minutes.
Not much more though. Only the 2 picks.
In the time bank, good Kraken impact regardless, and the switch up of the composition. Adapting on the fly right now is I Know Legacy, but they're going to be down in ultimates for this upcoming fight. We'll see if they can get a big res off. That's going to be the biggest.
Climb the wall, man.
Has Eye of Agamotto. We know what this guy
climb the wall and get a knockup.
We'll see if he can do it again with a big eye.
Like, I barely know Venom at this point, but like I know that, yeah, you can get a lot more out of it.
Find anything from that great sleep, and the animation did go out, so no value there. Actually,
Snow ult, Mantis ult.
0%. It completely went through.
Or no, that wasn't a Mantis ult. Oh yeah, it was. On Eno.
Use Bond. Bond is off the cooldown. Quest back on the thing here now. No longer on the Venom. Does it may be a little difficult to find value with Venom in this tight quarters like this. Water back in.
This fight's gonna determine it.
More yet. Make that 2. Will we? Oh no, this could be dangerous. Gonna get plenty of resets as Water goes on a rampage.
Bucky ult on an Adam Warlock spawn.
No, they stopped it somehow. Great work from Zen on the Bond to not allow anyone to fall. I can't believe
Mantis is
we
dead.
didn't see 100 resets there. Great defensive positioning, but still probably not going to be enough.
Probably going to do it.
At this point, Deep Dive is really riding this momentum through.
Okay, so Deep Dive is going to have basically a minute, minute 50 seconds, 2 minutes advantage. Minute 50 seconds.
Yeah, they're still holding on right now, able to come
Not
back
quite
with
that.
that fate of both worlds, but now eventually
Not the time to fall asleep if you're Deep Dive though. Like, I've seen so many teams lose by not finishing that push.
Again, it's so much value.
Gotta finish that push.
Zen gonna be back into the fight. Agamotto towards the carpet. Nobody was there to follow it up for Marvelous. Unfortunately,
It's a huge defensive advantage when you're in this position.
Built yet another ultimate. Closes out on the spawn door. I mean, 2 minutes.
Sleeps him.
Time bank for deep dive.
Yeah, that's a good set of plays.
It's a big advantage.
For the side of deep dive, getting extra time on the clock. I really like the offensive side from the opposition, but no, I mean, just not enough. That follow-up there from the Kraken impacts. I mean,
1 minute
I
versus...
personally can't believe that we saw Warlock go off in front of the entirety of a Kraken impact and a full team, and it did.
Why did it look like they gave them more time? I know minute is the minimum.
Defended like champions, especially in that position. I don't know how. It must have been a perfect utilization of Bond in cooldown timing and ult. So well done there, but you know, not enough to shut him down, as deep dive will have more time on the clock. It's all about this next point, and if you can go through point 1 here with a minute for I Know Legacy.
Yeah, I like the Venom switch up. They'll see if they continue with it. Quest has been able to get a lot of value out of Venom so far. And also the ability to switch over to the triple strat is kind of working out, forcing I Know to kind of change it up, right? Maybe I Know mixes it up as well, as we might see yet another role swap. We don't know entirely because they're in the attacking side, but for deep dive, really good push from them. I Know it was really hard, I felt like, for Sylvan to really do anything on the Hela. I mean, he was just looking for off angles, looking for picks, and just couldn't hit them, considering how much healing was there for deep dive. This is the value of that triple strategist that we usually see Shib.
Yeah, and once, you know, one thing to mention, I do mention this when I see it because I think it's a very valuable tip. You saw Water take the height there without using a cooldown. You can actually utilize
here we go.
a little ramp
Deep dive
on the left
back
side
on
to
defense.
jump to and then take that height. So you don't need to burn cooldowns, and also
1
those
minute
who don't have verticality can take that height.
you get
if
one
need be. Something to keep in mind
winning
during your ladder
fight.
games. But here we go off the rip again. We are going to see the Hela
To
side of
me,
Sylvian,
it's almost
and,
it's
we know
almost
how
worth.
strong Hela can be. Altrexi going to be on Punisher Rocket
It's almost
combo.
worth
We haven't
either
seen a ton of the
stalling or
Bucky
throwing
combo
this
here
first fight.
on console. So I'm surprised to see that Punisher gets a little more priority with this right now, as they're not going to be running that Bucky for I Know Legacy, hoping to just burn down any sort of dive.
Hela getting some nice flanks here, gets a pick on
Sylvian, who is going to knock out
Water
get
on the Bucky.
that little advantage on the first fight, and I Know Legacy wants to push this through with less time.
They're pushing hard.
They can get the job done even with a disadvantage. Great shield there from the Venom to be able to escape, retaking that.
Yeah,
good
they're
positioning,
pushing nicely.
but still being down a number is going to force them back.
All right, 10 seconds.
Yeah,
this is it right here.
Constantly pressure.
I
out
cannot believe, like,
considering their time bank, if they can get even another elim here,
the defense just let them push, in my opinion. Like,
ultimates, however, all this damage going down range, you know, strategist ultimates are now up. For I Know, here comes the Cosmic Yarn
the
Amplifier.
front line on deep dive just played that so poorly.
Oh my
They just
God,
gave
they're
that point.
marvelous. And the crew, they're able to get
Hey,
so
what?
much damage with this Punisher, man. It's brutal for deep dive crew.
I Know Legacy does not want to lose.
Oh yeah, you
this.
stay in
They're
overtime mode no
stepping
matter
up when
what.
they need to here. Pushing through point 1 is a
You definitely
huge
get a little bit of
hit
poke up there.
on an
Hela
OT push
and
like this, especially on Yggdrasil, where that first
I would say
map,
like
or
Hela.
that first point,
Strange
me, is
should be up
very
there.
defensible. Has a ton of high ground, does have that off angle,
And then
you
Strange
find
should,
teams
you
buying a
know,
lot of
shield
time
for a
on that
bit
point,
for
but no,
Hela,
a minute on
and
the
then
clock
drop
and
back
able
to
stay
cart,
in
let
here.
Thing go up
This is
and
going to
get a
be what they
knock up.
need to see to keep that confidence up. There's the res on height.
Right, here we
You
go.
do see Sylvian just kind of holding this positioning. Great eye of Agamotto is going to take out Quest, though. That could be a nice start here for Sylvian. Great off angling on to the defensive side of deep dive. We're now down a number. Sylvian on Hela needs to be matched here at this point. Make that 2 as Water goes down, and they are just choosing to not
I'm
try
so
to battle
surprised
this
they
back.
didn't use that ult
Great decision
sooner.
there with the iframe from the Goddess of Death to hit the sky. Put a ton
You
of
gotta
damage out.
stay on the
Shields are
cart.
up, but will it be enough as Keon finds Quest? Sylvian finds Pog.
Oh, they're
and
pushing
walking
cart.
this thing back through
Oh,
to hold on
shit.
to this attack.
Dude,
Yeah,
if
that
they
was
win this,
clean
if
as
they win
anything,
this match,
and
that would
now
be
everybody's
nuts.
Running to the car, man. They're left behind. They don't want to get staggered.
Wow.
They've made it so far. I Know Legacy nearly through this entire second phase of the map with a well-timed ultimate
Wow.
from Sylvian. Fate of Both Worlds popped a little bit too early there for Pog Chimp, and with that, I Know just waited for the exact right moment, knowing the Agamotto was going to come in, like you said, with that animation cancel, goes into the sky.
Ooh, I'd hop on a turret right now.
Now they have the BRB as well. And
Wow.
push on the third phase, not even a contest by deep dive.
Yeah, this is a tough look. Getting all the way to this point with 1 minute is.
I mean, there's no
insane
question right
push.
now
This
that
a lot of confidence
the
for your
PC
next
strategy
defense to
is
the, oh, and here comes the Kraken impact.
much more
On to
intense.
Keon. Sylvian goes down, marvelous. Altrexi too, and followed up with even more as we see an
GG.
absolute pop off from Water
All right.
to shut this down.
That was a really good push
to
off of 1 minute.
0.6. Really good push though.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good push indeed. Now we're into the
Really,
last
really good
phase
push.
of the map. You need to get all the way there with 2 minutes and 32 seconds. So, I mean, if any team can do it, it is the team that ended up with a massive time bank like Deep Dive. But Triple Strategist may not be the play for them anymore, considering how that went.
Yeah, that was tough, man. I mean, I'm curious to see what this is going to look like if they can clutch up. It's all about that clutch gene. Deep Dive did make it happen on the attack initially with a fair amount of time on the clock, so they can push through those points early if need be, but yeah, I do like the change here from Nuke. I think it needs to be matched. Sylvian was finding so much value on Hella, and nobody can contest the range that Sylvian was holding from. On that high side, on bridge in point 2, there was just nobody who was able to land a shot up there. So good decision to change up here from Nuke, who is going to be on the Hella. And as we go into the OT, can they match this and get the job done?
I think if any team could do it, it is them. Water was absolutely popping off previously on the Bucky, but might have to change it up to the Wolverine. I mean, that wouldn't be a bad switch because Magneto got banned, right? So Kidnap is going to be available, and nobody's going to be able to bubble up whoever gets picked off. Water was previously looking pretty good on that hero, too. So for Ino Legacy, they're very comfortable with this Punisher composition they've been running. I mean, it's just interesting they don't even want to match it with the Bucky, too, and makes sense considering how well they're playing on the Hella so far. Nuke, like you said.
I don't know, man. I feel like might win off of that push. That push was so good.
Pretty well on the Hella previously.
Yeah, here we go again with the start. Zen is actually, we're seeing a lot of changes here in terms of composition.
Thing pushing around the corner, gets some knock up on a couple of squishies.
Especially this deep into the tournament. So
Hella and Invisible, and Hella is going to challenge that and gets punished. I mean, listen, as somebody that plays a good amount of Hella, I did not see that going well for her. You're not supposed to be in that range of thing for very long.
To try to find this off angle, getting dove here with that Guardian Shield we talked about. It does find a ton of value, but Sylvian says value schmalue as down goes Quest.
Hella 3 big hits and gets the pick.
Sylvian showing up here with the Hella, an absolute demon with the hit.
I feel like Hella does play a lot more like she's supposed to on controller.
Looks for anybody and rips their head off.
Her headshots are just way too strong on PC.
Zen, right? Just Nuke shut
they need to
down.
reduce the multiplier on her headshot on PC. I think that's the right nerf for her.
The Vanguard player of Ino Legacy, and then obviously
I think you don't have to make every crit deal the same.
Sylvian has to walk back from spawn after that. So tough start
deal
there
the same
Nuke
multiplier.
On their attack now.
I think that's how you properly nerf somebody that
and here we go. As the Unlimited is out, so the shotties can rain. I like that idea.
Scan.
Just to backline from dive, but at this point we do see a change up
with such burst damage. Like I don't mind hit scan crits being that high for like Punisher or
a ton of damage into them from
Star-Lord.
The duelist side of Ino Legacy was really showing up right here. We do have the tackle in from the
Wolverine. Tell you what, man, they're holding them big here. 52 seconds. This is gonna be a really close.
Turning that right back into water, and the rest comes through. So I lied about the value. Is that this?
I know. Yeah, I know it's got this. They've got an ult advantage, and Punisher gets picked. I take it back. Alright, Hella doing work, Hella doing work.
Unfortunately, not able to get a follow-up. Nuke does have ultimate here. Goddess of Death could get some serious value. Coach is holding on here to an ultimate. We do have the backline defensive.
They need to get ready to push.
For both side of deep, but J2 Cool had to pop it here, so we're only going to see
you don't have to treat it like you did before, though.
Ultrexy going to launch here. The Punisher. They did unlimited ammo too.
Like you don't have to hold at the door the way you would in a normal match because it's not it doesn't add time.
Here, not allowing Nuke to get into the fight, who does have to force that cooldown to get in, but we do see the dance floor out. Hell Unleashed again here. It is going to be matched.
Double Hell ults.
JC Cool numbers back in the favor here of Ino Legacy.
Strange ults.
Going to find Pogchip as well. Make that 3 as water. Are they able to stop this here?
Is it?
It looks like they're going to.
Ino Legacy's going to take a game in overtime.
And this should go to Ino Legacy.
Wow.
Great round for Ino Legacy. Close out on the defensive hold, and they stop the dominance that has happened to them so far.
2-1.
2 maps to bring it to that map number 3. Get the win here.
Oh, that's bringing it to map number 4.
4 now after a victory is huge, right? I mean, they just played it so well. The compositional changes they made, I think, to switch so much too. I mean, they swapped their Venom player over to Punisher. I don't think we've ever seen that before, but well-deserved MVP for Sylvian, who is on the Hella kind of dominating.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first game, I did not think that was going to be the case, but it seems like a full switch here.
They didn't look good early on in that match either. They really picked it up in overtime.
39k damage. Obviously, Water a ton of damage on the opposition.
They're one of those teams. It seems like they just need to be slightly more aggressive in their standard play and realize that they can take more than they think they can.
Doing some strong damage too.
Yeah, let's get into Indeed, and this might be the last that we see of console before we enter that grand finals versus with 100 Thieves versus Sentinels on the PC region, so stay tuned. Group ban coming first for Deep Dive is Ino Legacy. Immediately banning out the Loki. Don't want to play against that again, so they have the strategy. Make sure to shut down that Loki pick potentially. That Deep Dive we're playing previously.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of that Groot ban, at least in console. It's like, I mean, it's no different than what we would see in PC, but even...
You know, has played so much Punisher as well. I'm curious to see what changes for Ino considering these new bans and picks.
Yeah, initially we saw Sylvian on the Wolverine there. I thought it was going to be a consistent pick, but there goes
Vanguard. Deep Dive, though, sticking heavily to this duo between Miyoyo and Quest, it seems like, on the Vanguard front line.
Water initiating here, diving in heavy, trying to get that space taken, ready to find a flank. Obviously, Wolverine in this map can get a lot of tackles off map here, so finding an early tackle and trying to get a pick and throwing a Vanguard off is so valuable. So you saw the attempt, but does get shut down there by the opposition with the Punisher just taking that.
All right, so we got Rocket, Magneto, Hela, Punisher, Luna.
Controlling this angle, water to the sky, looking for that pick, like you said. Potentially
Namor versus...
looking just kind of in the back of the map. There's
Logan, the Wolverine, Magneto, Luna, Hela,
pushing away
Invis,
this front line of
Strange.
Dive right now as the bubbles popped out. Nice pick off
big
from
pick, big pick.
Altrexi. He's gonna go down to the
Punisher's so good, but he's so much easier to pick off than most carries at this level. You can deal a shit ton of damage if left unchecked, but
Marvelous sort of just taking so much damage, but the healing.
And also at this level, like at the highest level, I just don't think his turrets are that useful. So it's more about his raccoon combo is the only thing he's really got going for him.
And with that, just kind of securing this objective. Triple strategist working out as Altrexi gets water.
All right, switch back.
The first point as well, and Sylvian on the left side angle.
Ooh, nice pick. That's nuts. Was that a headshot?
Yeah, I was going to say, there's only one Vanguard I see. Marvelous. Now, if I'm going to be doing one Vanguard,
and who's got point, pushing him back, getting more picks, more staggers.
Magneto, an incredibly strong Vanguard, does have a lot of self-preservation potential. So at this point in the game, I would argue is the best solo tank. And we see a lot of damage being output here by Ino Legacy, virtually taking that Strange Shield off the map every single fight just by the raw.
Who's that pushing over? Is that Magneto? Yeah.
Namor,
so.
And then they have that Hela. So just too much damage on the field for there to be a ton of value here with Quest.
That
but you really can't change up and go something like the Thing.
Maybe it's Strange.
You're going to find even less success without a shield in front of you.
All right, Hela looking for a flank on there. Hela. Oh. Misses. Oh, that would have been nuts. That would have been so nuts if Nuke got that, or not Nuke. Sylvian got that pick. Does return and get it.
Not over for Sylvian, able to take down one.
And Hela ult now.
So that's fine. For the side of Eno. Oh my God!
Because I'm pretty sure Strange just used his jump. So without Strange jump and without one other... we should be poking the Namor, dude. The Namor was in the back. Might have been a free kill.
Comes back into the spice. Eye Agamotto doesn't connect onto somebody yet. It connects onto Keon. Also, the shift committed by Exon. So
and free kills. All right, so Deep Dive's gonna get the retake, or had the retake.
Yeah, I gotta show some love there. Pog did actually use that Luna Fit of Both Worlds, and it like shut down 3 or 4 ultimates. They used they used Goddess of Death, and they used the Whale, and none of them.
I'm a big fan of taking out Strange shield
controlling the point at this point, but
when it's just passive like this.
Fight with no one really too close, so this could turn around in Deep Dive's favor. I will say though, I know Legacy looked incredible.
Hela with Invis shield is nuts.
Take out Keon, and that's gonna get rid of the res.
That's just
so the
dirty.
value out of that is insane because that res has found a ton of potential and a ton of value here in the first few fights because every single early pick was negated.
Ooh, gets the pick off of Magneto.
As Zen goes down here for Yo-Yo.
On the Namor.
We'd like to see if you're a fan of Ino Legacy, just losing member after member. Like you said, Nuke, just 2 taps across
I feel like
the map.
on either team,
if
you can get the pick on
Deep Dive, and right now
Namor, Punisher, or either of the Helas, it's really the key to taking over the fight.
Here on the front line, but that Punisher isn't taking advantage of it just yet. They're trying to get value, but you just have this Magneto, and with only one front line, it's all on him to kind of secure objective play. But now here's the Cosmic Air Amplifier from that offense. Kean trying to throw it out, make sure they can get some secure eliminations, but there's too much stuff, right? You have the Whale coming to on this left side of the map, gets Sylvian so low, but the support is there with the bubble, and then the support from the Rocket Raccoon, so he's able
some
to
family texting going on here.
Rocket or sorry, Punisher into the turret, able to pump out so much damage to the front line, but invisible boundary from JT.
Another hell ult.
Deep dive on this objective. Sylveon's in the sky with the Goddess of Death, but there's some follow-up here. The Meteor M does not connect from Mio either. Coach's ultimate gives Ino Legacy this point presence. We're already 99% of the board. Deep Dive is still trying to secure the objective right now as they're all low. The damage from Ino is a lot, but they're not able to secure any elimination until now. Sylveon takes down JTG Cool. PogChamp not able to keep him alive with his very own Fate of Both Worlds. They need to stay at this point, though. Overtime ticks down. You have the ultimate advantage. Iwagamoto is connected.
Deep Dive actually gets the
on the
whole match out of this, huh?
Find value. Marvel is trying to help it push forward to this point. Water.
He needs more out of that.
Though, as they push in, and it's just member after member being lost. Altrexi though does get Mio. That's a decent elimination.
Yeah, the higher level, the harder it is to get kills with that.
Water on the right side with one extra elimination, but there's too many removed on his teammate's side. Deep Dive.
Wow. I know did get the point off of that.
Yeah, actually, what an incredible series of fights.
The retake was nasty.
80% all the way. Deep Dive taking it to 99 in the return. The all advantage back, and I know Legacies for this final fight here. Water with a nice set of picks there to try to get that back. But
I think
may not be enough, but we'll keep eyes
on that,
will be impactful. Quest at about 1 HP doesn't
wow,
to escape.
the
Nuke
flanks from the two carries on Deep Dive is nuts here.
Again, Nuke gonna take out Zen,
so good.
Will Deep Dive be able to re-own this and take this home?
Yeah, they get another Namor pick.
The immediate changeover. Altrexi gotta get into the fight here.
Those flanks were nuts. Namor on one side, Hella on the other. That was gross.
Not able to get that done. Gonna have to resort to falling back, and here comes the fate, as that's gonna be enough for the W. Well done, and what a retake.
Wait, what happened? They just couldn't touch the point? They just couldn't touch the point. Man, this is the problem with running with single Vanguard, right? It's just
I know won that, right?
Wait. Oh, wait, never mind. They were the ones to win, huh? So I'm the one that's crazy here. No, that's the problem with Deep Dive.
It's because they were blue on the other. They were blue on the other map, so
they had the positions and just could not take advantage. I know, and it's interesting because they swapped Sylveon over to the.
I am really surprised by that.
Trexi's over to the.
Looked like Deep Dive was about ready to make a move on that.
No, you're right about that. It was the single Vanguard that took it. They switched to Strange, I believe, to get the teleport in. So it looked like they went back to Duo, but it was a single Vanguard situation for Ino. So you had that for sure. It was just it was the last second touch. I think it scared the team off. I'm surprised it worked out like that, for sure.
Freaked him out, man. My God. Mioyo did take a little bit too much damage in that fight. I think previously Marvelous hasn't looked as strong in that Magneto so far, but right now he's kind of just putting the team on his back as this solo Vanguard. Like you said, I think these strategists too, Coach and Kian, have just done a good job keeping him alive. You saw towards the very end, Nuke had to drop.
Any comp changes here? Nothing here that I can see now.
But they just couldn't. They're just steadfast in this main side, giving up flank angles. Doesn't matter. They're just able to keep his front line so healthy, man.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's a tough look to be going in with a solo Vanguard, but you know, if you're going to do it with anyone, it's going to be here. Marvelous popping off, just utilizing all those cooldowns selfishly, right, as you need to. If you're in a position like this, use that ult to make sure you save yourself, stay on the point as long as possible. But if they take this early pressure on point with a solo Vanguard, that is
nice. Got both
a feat in and of itself, as it is very difficult with all this height to hold on as a solo Vanguard.
See, Punisher should have stayed on his rifle there.
As both of them choose to walk to point, but Marvelous is going to find that early pick onto Nuke and get the numbers back in their favor. Ready to
that's it.
Chooses to hold on to it, and they are just going to walk through this.
I know Legacy takes the point
again.
I don't know what it is about this comp, but it's working very well for Ino. I think there's just so much consistent damage down range that Deep Dive don't know what to do. They just kind of panic, and the flanks get taken, the overall aggressiveness out of this Punisher. Yeah, it's just been doing so much value on the Quest, I guess, as they
they're going triple deeps. I didn't even think about that.
They do have ultimates on board, but as do Ino. Not too many whales to connect flush for both teams, but meanwhile, early Crow usage.
It's so interesting the meta right now, because like there are triple supports, the most common of the triples. There's triple tank comp, there's triple DPS comp.
Elimination though, that's big, but then oh no. Caught over the top side after utilizing his shift. Sylveon does eventually fall down. Here comes a whale from Water 2 onto Keon, who tossed out the Cosmic Yarn. And oh no, this ultimate is way too late, man. It seems like Deep Dive fully in control. Trexie, ill-advised ultimate.
Yeah, that was not a good Punisher. Not a good Punisher.
Not a threat there. That all was way too late, like you mentioned. I mean, that was a tough look across the board there for Rhino, but that just goes to show you how difficult it can be. The one thing from Deep Dive that I know the pain and struggle of trying to run
although in truth, like
this much damage.
Again,
There's
Punisher
so much damage on the side of Rhino Legacy.
puts him in more danger than help sometimes.
And, it's very difficult to run the thing into unlimited ammo comps like this and just hell it in general. So you can't really run thing either. Your only option is group, but group's banned out. So you either want to run the triple strat or you maybe even match the duelist here if you want to find a little more value, but the teams can still absolutely outplay, and it looks like Deep Dive does have ult advantage, so they may be able to take this back, but I do know the struggle of damage as Quest pops that Eye of Agamotto. Up in the sky we go, looking for value, does find one as water goes down.
Comes down with it.
By Marvelous, looking to try to find even more. There goes the dance floor. Fate of both worlds being popped, trying to push Luna outside of it, tries to push Invis outside of it, not able to get the job done, as they're just still holding on to this point. Up goes the Goddess, and
Deep
it
Dive
is going to be eaten by the meteor.
misses.
Tries to throw it in the sky, but not able to make that happen.
And
they are going to walk this back and take over point.
Yeah, they're walking it back indeed.
I know Legacy taking it out.
I know, looking pretty solid, and that's a lot of ults out of Deep Dive as well. So with all of those gone, surely you're sitting in a good spot. I know that a lot of these fights, it feels like, Shib, kind of end up in these neutral engages mattering, right? It feels like, whether it be a Hello or a Namor, the opening pick and the neutrals have been very crucial, I feel like, more so than ultimates at points.
Yeah, I'm with you. I feel like, at least in this series so far, in these last few
console
games,
plays so differently.
Ultimates in terms of sweeps on the team. It just seems like everything sustains out, and the teams relocate and try to find a pick after the dust has settled a little bit here. So maybe that's a good positioning situation that could be attributed to that. But outside of that, another whale without much value.
That Namor, I don't know about that.
From Luna, which we find a lot more in some of these other games. But Sylvian again.
Ooh, I know, with another big pick.
Cool in the backside, looking up on the height.
On Invisible Woman.
Immediately the Astral Flock over to the left side.
That's gonna be it.
Gonna drop him. Yo-Yo Nuke goes down. Altrexi with a good ult here.
It's gonna be match.
Take out Quest. Pog goes down, and it
they
looks
need
like
to get a Strange right away.
Yeah, no, Doctor Strange not even a respawn.
It's gonna be 2-2.
And yeah,
wow.
They get it done. Tie it up 2-2.
Wow.
On Hell's Heaven, perfect map.
This is going the distance.
Or bad map choice rather from Deep Dive is. Honestly, it didn't seem like
the grand finals of PC is not going to be until like
it is very difficult to run that Strange into that comp. I do think you need to make that triple strat or duelist comp. So it just, it really was a tough situation. I find it's tough to get a lot of value with triple duelist unless everyone's on their game, but it really looks like, especially with I Know Legacy there, everybody was on it and they knew what their role was and they got the job done and owned that space and pressure nearly every single fight.
You're taking a look at the stats as well. I mean, pretty straightforward, I think, on all sides. As for I Know Legacy, they were just able to get so much value out of the duelists. I mean, each duelist getting over 11,000 damage. You can see the final blows as well. The final hits from Zen has been so good. We've seen Crimzo POV, man. I've seen a lot of streamers talk about it, and it's real. He's good at Groot, right? So it's like, what can you really do when your coach?
Dude, good Groots are scary.
It's not like he's a coach just like straight up by any means. I mean, he's a former professional player. I mean, I competed against him for many years.
Groots are really scary.
He's definitely a dude that has high talent. I know that. I talked to him specifically too. Crimzo doesn't really compete.
Dogman
or
and
hasn't competed.
Shib.
He says he wants to, but the reason why he hasn't competed as much is because he has some wrist issues. So there's some things that he's sort of working out, health issues that he's sort of slowly kind of figuring out.
Wrist issues, you say?
It looks like they're not bothering him right now.
Interesting.
Yeah, who said esports can't have injuries as well? You know what I'm saying? I mean, when you get
it
out
absolutely
there
can.
the Groot, I mean, Groot obviously in an incredible spot right now. I think the
take
issue
care of yourself.
Prior was that they
can't
had,
be overworking those
Groot
wrists.
and Van Hella, and when you have to force that, they have the opportunity to lock one of those in, and they felt uncomfortable getting that done. So now we're transitioning in right into the game. It seems like immediately as we're pushing forward.
The production value, man.
Like
the production value.
Likely been banned out as Kaluja's going to be on the Doctor Strange here. The defense going to be for 100 Thieves.
So
as we begin, and they are going to take that off angle. That bridge still being off allows them to take that high side and play in the flank as the defense is now a little off. Is Delano going to find Super Gomez? The rest is going to come through for Gomez. The Guardians comp is on the table, and we will see that on both sides. Going to be matched up, and we know Sentinels do a great job of this composition.
Yeah,
Super
100 Thieves on defense.
Star-Lord potentially in the conversation for the best in the game. As we
Magneto
start this
thing.
fight right now, the Magneto going to be up to help barrier up that spin, that barrage.
Rocket, Mantis, Battle
Star-Lord
Warlock,
here.
Bucky.
Oh, incredible job with Kraken impacts is forced
Didn't
to
get
drive
the
off.
pick though. Oh, there he goes.
Finds the reset. Incredible shot there on Amazing, allowing the reset to be ready and giving them a ton of space here on the defense.
Is he going? Oh, he's going.
And let's see the follow-up.
See, that's all they need to nerf on Bucky. They shouldn't let the reset last that long.
Super Gomez trying to get that all charged back at 91%.
Reset should last for like 3-4 seconds.
Bring Venny back, but it's not enough as the entirety of Sentinels are just sweeping everyone and taking point one.
Little rubber band and disengage. I thought 100 Thieves had it, but they disengaged the Kraken impact.
So they're running Strange probably just for this first portal. I wouldn't be surprised if they change between Strange and Thing.
Triple strategist comp. I don't know if they expected 100 Thieves to even want to play it. So right now,
Star-Lord, Adam Warlock,
are having their first matchup against the Harvey on Rocket Raccoon in this triple strategist. This is like a new form, sort of 100 Thieves. Hey, TTK again.
Ooh, TTK with a nice pick.
But that's a nice set of the momentum right now for 100 Thieves.
Nice pick on the Warlock.
Kind of got rolled over by a rubber band, re-engaged by Sentinels.
Yeah, that's exactly what you needed to see. If I'm Sentinels, that early Kraken impact was terrifying.
Another pick on
Adam Warlock. And they play so well around those reses. Terra gonna find Korova though, helping put it back in their favor.
Oh man, massive
takes out Terra, shove it in to try to find more. Does have that already. Potentially gonna damage boost it here as Super Gomez pops the Galactic Legend, and here we go with that damage boost. He is gonna be eaten by the Meteor M. Will it be able to be returned here as the res goes out as well?
I wonder if he's in Purple Luna Snow alt.
As well as we're pushing in together, and it looks like
his damage from that will kill somebody through a healing
ready for that
Snow
Meteor
alt.
M to return from Crimzo, who's now, instead of on the group, going to be on that Magneto, the double shield comp out. Kaluj with a great initiation there to start that fight.
Destroying the wall.
Yeah, love the disengage. They just wait out Harvey's ultimate. Now Terra's not synced with Harvey with his Kraken impact. They shouldn't get as much value, but here's the clobbering time on the front to slow it down, at least to make sure nobody else gets
Yeah, Sentinels with a really nice push here, man.
Sentinels
They're so good.
With Crimzo's ultimate. We're trying to
100 Thieves is so good too, so that just goes to show you.
How do you want to fight this with the Kraken impact? They're close to another Harvey. How is he building him so fast?
Yeah,
Bucky.
It is insane. Now let's back up.
Doing Bucky things. Again.
Onto the reset.
Again.
As once again, Terra showcasing how strong he is on this hero.
Again.
Do I see 4 and 5?
Again.
Yes, I do. As Terra sweeps the entirety of the team. An absolute demon on Bucky.
That is both fair and balanced.
When that Kraken is up.
Man, he is unstoppable. And for Sentinel's side, you know, unfortunately, Krover really couldn't get that res off, but now we're already going into another fight. Sentinel's portal off on the high ground. Knowing Terra's ultimate is out of this, let's see how 100 Thieves play this. It's very hard to get reses, it feels like, into triple strategist. Is the funny thing, as everybody's expecting it.
Delena, great shots there on the side of Warlock, retaking the space. Kaluj with an Eye of Agamotto again finding value, but we do see the bond down. It doesn't matter. Make that 3 go down. Kaluj with 4, returning this right back at him. Kraken impact 2.
Sentinels, man, they don't play around.
Of the Eye of Agamotto, and again, Kaluj popping off with these initiations.
The Eye of Agamotto.
You do it like that, man. Kaluj, absolutely gross. And this is what we needed to see in the last series for SDX. You know, it's unfortunate what happened, but Vinny, right, gets so much value at clobbering time. Now he's going to swap back over to the Magneto, just mirror the comp in that case. And that's what you need to see out of your Vanguard players. You need them to have huge ultimates. It's really difficult, but the timing is everything, and Kaluj understood. That was the perfect time for him.
Gomez with the flank.
Yeah, TTK going to be switching over here to Strange as well. I mean, these initiations, Kaluj's, these Eye of Agamotto's, it hasn't been seen like this since Season 0. We have not seen this much value out of Eyes, but we are seeing it.
Yeah, it's true. Eye of Agamotto has kind of fallen in value for a while.
Great jump there to shield it off.
Seeing good ones is
good positioning, good decision making as the
rare
team
these
is
days.
their footing again. Out goes that unlimited ammo for Terra.
To me, it generally matters what you're facing as far as enemy team.
TTK falls. Amazing takes out Vinny. Crimzo on Terra. The rest is up for TTK, but that's not going to be enough. And they might be able to portal them out here. We'll find out shortly as Amazing takes 1. TTK goes down. Crimzo gets 2. An incredible shot there. And oh my goodness, Sentinels
they're
are on a
holding him
wave
here.
Yeah, they absolutely are. I mean, 2 minutes and 36 seconds left to go. 100 Thieves now have to walk out. They do have ultimates, though. 2 meters. Oh my God, they're barely on, but they have to use these ults now or never.
Yeah,
unleashing the Vishanti's power.
Because they did take that height with it in that last fight before they came
Terra.
to an insane ulti for Collusion. There's a pick there on Collusion from Terra. Terra not with that impact right now, did use it in the last fight. Out goes the Meteor M to try to eat some time for Super Gomez. Finny gonna find one as Amazing goes down, but the res is back. Korova early popping that res, so the team knew to play aggressive.
All right,
and right
Sentinels used everything.
Amazing, the numbers gonna stay even. Here goes the
T still got 2 huge ults.
Seconds from the rocket, they're not gonna be enough. Good idea from Harvey, but it gets burned out as Terra just trying to get that all back. Already at 85%. This could be a game winner if they get it right back now. Magneto coming in with the Meteor M, but it doesn't land. Collusion out Vinny.
Wait, they took out Vinny though.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
First off the point, and that's gonna do it. As an insane push from
Sentinel's knowledge of like tempo in the fight is so good.
48 seconds
So
left
clean
to
is
go.
right.
We could re-enter Sentinel's reign over the scene. I mean, that would be insane considering how, you know, the past few weeks have gone for them.
Their knowledge of tempo, because they use their ults at times. Other teams just are like holding. They're just like, now we can use this for tempo right now, and they know how and when.
Stuff, right? Benny now over to the Magneto.
It seems like
we usually see him on Magneto, right? We usually see him on the Groot. We usually see him on the Thing. Not really a Magneto player, right? And now he's forced to kind of play over to it. I'm sure he has a lot of practice on it, but it's new for him, I would say, in this case. And there's a lot of news, right? We have Delena onto the freaking Adam Warlock. There's a lot of changes that 100 Thieves are going through right now. Minute and 48 seconds. Sentinels just made that look so clean. And you could say, like, yeah, they didn't touch the card at the very end, and that's on the team, but I mean, their only good ultimate there was the res from Delena, and where else are you supposed to use it besides back left? So, I mean, it's tough. Yeah. Sentinels play around triple strategists so well.
Yeah, that looked flawless. I think they played every single fight. I mean, obviously they're going to lose some alt advantage fights, right? And they did lose those fights. But when it came to their advantages and when it came to those neutrals, they were winning every last one of them.
I didn't think they had Loki last match.
Different team in these last 2 series. They looked so confident playing against 100 Thieves, and I think that's where their issue was. They were just kind of in a rut in terms of going against them. Felt like they had no option. But I think this change in allowing them to not have to force ban out Groot every single game, if not needed, it has been a W for them because Crimson apparently can play Magneto here and still make things work for them as Sentinels just walked that thing with almost 2 minutes full and didn't even have to portal wall out at the end. So we are going to begin this first fight here. Terra going to be holding this right side. They are going to break this open. This is a new strategy, and we have seen this happen a ton here from the
They really need to change how strange portals work.
A different angle. I do like the idea of that, just using that portal.
It's like fun and creative
for
this season, the first season, but like they need to. Like, you shouldn't be able to put the portal within a certain range of itself.
Terra's going for an aggressive play on the top left. This
Terra's dead.
Yeah, and him getting picked off. I mean, that was a little too far forward.
You're gonna hold.
And by the way, yeah, no, I think Hella got banned in this series too. We didn't get to see it. TTK picked off again. I mean, this first fight is obviously not going 100
Terra's gonna get picked. Oh no.
But regardless, I think was it Namor probably got banned. I think Hello got banned. I imagine.
Elements.
In this situation, Groot got banned.
Don't go too far.
Vanguard priority. So obviously we missed that aspect of it. But now we're into this minute left on the clock for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on it right now. They got almost 3 up, but Vinny with a nice
get the pick on Gomez.
That pick could get res. I guess the res was down. Nothing there just yet.
Vinny gets killed in response.
Gomez does res back up. Excuse me. Vinny gonna fall from Aramori. Just the sheer raw power there from the Loki, showcasing how much damage it could truly do.
So Mantis has first ult on Sen.
Defense. Vinny gonna have to spawn up on the reset, but it looks like Sentinels still have ult advantage. Amazing Aramori.
Terra's about to have ult. Gomez already has ult.
Terra gonna be able to match that SJP and TTK there now, so the numbers are evened out. And we will see a crazy fight here coming up shortly.
Yeah, this is gonna get nuts.
Popped. Who gets the value? Let's find out. Up in the sky goes the Galactic Legend for both sides, matched evenly. Who's gonna find more? As we did get the damage reduction there from Vinny, who did pop it on their side, but no Terra. Yet as Meteor M's go up to eat some of that damage. Will it dunk on anyone? Good shield out to buy time. It does get eaten as we still see Vinny and the entirety of the team holding on while these Qs are flying. No insane value yet as no one's gone down. Kalush ready with the Eye of Agamotto.
Sentinel still has 3 ults to use.
With the res, so those reses will have big impact. It's all about positioning now. They're going to hold that back end, and here we go as we hear the Loki copy, ready to make some sort of play with the Mantis charge.
Mantis ult,
there it is, the Soul Resurgence, and there's the Eye of Agamotto. Kalush is on a rampage with these now. 2 go down, 3, and there's the rest from Delena. Will they be able to collapse and stuff that down as Delena reses them up, but they're still walking backwards, so it's not getting a ton of value as the team needs to regroup and reset. But wow, Sentinels during these fights are just holding on.
Yeah, Sentinels
just holding on. They're crushing.
Play against that res, and play with it. It feels like they're playing around Kurova's reses. Delena's using them reactively, and obviously
All right,
they know that
minute
res is
12
there.
left.
They've
Here
tracked
comes
this whole time, and they know
100 Thieves'
that
third
he's in
big
that position
push.
to res. Minute left on the clock. 100 Thieves. They need to kind of just get
Fourth
something going.
ish,
Maybe
maybe.
Like one team fight that goes their way.
Yeah,
Well,
we
it's
do
not
see
just
the
going to
key rate
randomly
for
go their way.
Harvey
They
here.
need
That's
to do
40%
something a little bit
damage,
more
and here it comes the
targeted.
combo. Likely will be grouped together as we see the sky of the Galactic Legend from Terra. Terra trying to find more value.
Right now, TTK ult would be sick.
There's that nice play there by Delena to follow up on the clobbering time. And here comes the res to bring everyone back. That early res will have value as long as Kurova can walk in. It does pick up everyone around his body. And here comes Super Gomez, which we know how strong Gomez can be on this Star-Lord fighting one on Terra. Great early pick. And there's the res right back, though. Terra gonna find himself back in this fight. The numbers looking more
Gomez
so
going cray.
comes back in. Delena is weak. The front line is weak. The reset there from Vinny. Well done. And their whole
All right,
team
here
is
comes 2
holding
more
on
ults for
HP
Sent.
as we go in
20
with Crimzo,
seconds.
who does find Terra. A second on Delena.
I'm telling you, man, their timing and tempo are just nuts.
15 seconds on the clock.
All right, here comes
I'm not
another
sure either.
chance
Another
at strange
absolutely
portal.
dropping. Gomez also finds Harvey. Vinny will have the
There he
portal. But guess who's
goes.
here to counter it? Kaluge,
Freeze.
he's ready to go with the portals. Don't even touch. They don't even get the portal off. Man, that was so one-sided.
That was
That
not even close.
was everything. They got that pick, and their entire team knew. They had
All right,
to
I want to
set-
change
they
my
had to
4-2
shut them
prediction
down. Don't allow
to
anyone to be able to
4-1.
touch to extend this for the portal.
Still gonna
Walk
give
them
100
in
Thieves
and
one
make
map.
it happen, and that was incredibly well.
Those boys
played
need to wake
by
up.
Sentinels. I have no
All right, I'll be right
feedback.
back.
Consistently
Yeah, that was
these
not
past
close.
couple
That was
weeks,
not a
and
close map.
now I've kind of found it playing this triple stratus comp. It's been insane from them, right? I mean, we've seen how good they were previously, and then also playing a lot of triple Vanguard. But you know, leading into this, I don't think either you or me expected triple stratus to be this strong.
Yeah, I mean,
strategist
I knew they
needs some
ran it
nerfs.
well. I just knew that 100 Thieves.
I think
they also
personally, I
ran
just
it
think
well,
across
so
the
I knew
board
it
they
was
need
gonna
to
be a bit of a battle,
lower
but it just
how
seemed
fast
far more
strategy
one-sided,
results can
at least right
grow.
there. I'm curious if we're going to see
A little bit
ban
too
out
easy to
here,
farm ult
maybe Adam
for
Warlock just
strategists,
to
I feel
change
like.
things up and what that does to shake up Sentinels.
I think they
and
need to be
what
a little
their-
bit
what their
more
change is gonna be,
choosy.
but that could lead them to keeping that Groot if they're feeling confident on it. So let's see. As
Not
we
like a
dive in
major
here
change,
right
though, like,
now to
I'm
our
talking about, like,
bans.
a
The first ban
5%
going to be on the side
change.
of 100 Thieves, and let's see what they do.
See how that feels.
First ban Groot.
Groot ban.
They really don't
doesn't-
mess with Crimzo Groot. That's crazy, man.
That's what I'm saying. That's
respect.
aura right there, coming in as a not necessarily on the first line, coming in to fill that Groot slot and now being forced targeted banned is crazy. But no surprise here as Sentinels getting that Hela out of there, making sure Delena cannot run that. They don't feel like they can match it, so why not get rid of it? As we do keep the Luna, which means I have no doubt we're either going to see the Namor, say goodbye to Namor to not have that team up. So right back into this Guardians comp, I do believe, back and forth, thinking that they can match it. So let's go at it for a second time as we are up
Locked
1
in
for
Rocket.
And that's crazy
They
that
lock in
100
Luna.
Thieves are the ones banning Namor, just in the grand scheme of things, because they always play Namor. They always put Delena on Namor. They always put Delena on Hela. And when the Hela's removed, it's like, okay, we usually just put Delena on Namor. But how it's progressed, it feels like the triple strategist composition. Venom comes out.
They're
for
going
Sentinels, by the
Rocket
way, and
with
Royal
no
Palace,
Punisher?
interesting. Maybe Vinny
Oh,
wants
Rocket
to play
Bucky,
more
yeah.
Venom. We've seen in the European scene that there's a
Oh,
ton
I'm
more
sorry.
Venom too,
I
but
forgot.
it's just
100
interesting to
Thieves
me
is
too,
red
in the
this
long
turn.
term, like the grand scheme of things, that we're actually saying
Okay.
that 100 Thieves, the guy with one of the best, the team with one of the best Namor players, is gonna pan it out so he can't even play it on his own team.
Yeah, triple
But
support.
we are going to have that Bucky Rocket combo, which they do feel very confident on. As a 100 Thieves fans, I'm sure are going to want to see that because they know just enabling the dive here, the plays here from Terra it can be, terrifying, if you will, to shove through and just get a ton of value with every single crack and impact. But Sentinels, those picks, they don't matter as much when you can just res yourself right back into it after the start. It does allow the reset if you're able to find value there, but we're not going to be seeing the Loki to give even more resets, which I think is a
15
strategic
seconds.
choice
Here we go.
to ensure that doesn't happen. Was he banned out? Was I mistaken? Did I miss
Game
the Loki
2,
ban?
100 Thieves versus.
I don't think he was. They just don't want to play the
Sentinels.
Loki in this comp. They kind of gave up on it. I
Sentinels
think,
off
after
to the
that,
1-0 lead
match with
in best of
SDX. At least
7.
100 Thieves did, but I think Sentinels just want to play the 3 strategist.
Here we go, pushing out.
Yeah, it just gives the reset too much value, right? Like you just look for a clone at first, because why not? You hit a clone with other people, you burn down the clone who doesn't get healed after and stuff like those strategist ultimates, and you just keep moving forward. So here
they need him
we
up,
go
though.
again as the fight teleport in immediately by Sentinel, shoving in two 100 Thieves' spawn as they are trying to find an off angle. Vinny looking to try to go
teleport
towards the
cheese
back
early.
line. There is going to be a double shield comp up for the side of Sentinels, so we will see a ton of value there from those haymakers. And here goes the first fight right on the point as we are going to stall this thing up. Amazing, going to start dealing some damage. Keep his team juiced up on the point. Going to play around that natural cover in the middle.
Low
TTK
early.
really low there, a ton of damage out, but not going to be enough.
Still low. Still low. Dead.
Get away, but Kurova
wow.
Going to find that early pick.
The
That's
pick
a nice
Magneto early.
As the res does go
you
out,
don't see a lot of like tank focus in pro play.
But the limited ammo on the height there is Terra.
See a lot more focus on picks.
91%, 94 now, ready to press
isolate and pick normally.
Is looking for Super Gomez, gonna be brought back
pick
though
on
by
Gomez.
Self-res right unless that happened earlier.
100 T off to a nice little rebuttal here.
Like you said earlier, he's been a menace up here. Super Gomez also will come back, made his ultimate come through. And this is again another aggressive play. Here comes that Kraken impact on the side.
Hold on.
Insane bond there. That's going to work out for him with another wild Eye of Agamotto. Kalush is
Sentinels
just
is so
addicted
good,
to
dude.
hitting 5-man Eyes of Agamotto at this point. Just an absolute savage on the hero, which most had thought had taken a back seat in this season and showcasing how strong that he can be. Really well done there by Kalush.
Holding him at the
and
door.
Also an incredible bond by Kurova to ensure the team didn't get swept from that Kraken impact from Terra.
And it's interesting that Terra swapped over to Bucky for this series. You know,
I love how they play the swarm style. It's very interesting.
Such a strong hero. Oh no, he got picked off. No res either.
Who got picked?
Sorry, BRB does bring him back, but man, these pickoffs by Kurova have been absolutely gross. But back to the original point, right? I feel like Bucky, we've seen him dominate in ranked and in a lot of these games and stuff, but pro players always talk about how Bucky is counterable if you just figure out the way to play against him.
Adam Warlock, if you're a good
like you said, there's
if you're good with his attack,
are doing it so well.
he can snipe, dude.
Yeah, they definitely have spent time and watched some
He can
tape
literally
on how
flip
to counter
games.
because this has been something that 100 Thieves loves to do. Is we hit immediate. We're gonna see the Galactic Legend
Magneto
counter
ult
by the meteor, which
wasted.
did not connect. Good dash there by Super Gomez. Bond goes out for the opposition.
TTK is about to die again. Yeah, see ya.
Crimzo gonna find TTK early though. Numbers back in their favor. Good stun there, and here comes Terra.
With a rebuttal.
Amazing goes down. Try to make that 2 on Kurova. Yep,
Gets
down
it.
goes Kurova.
Gets it.
And the reset again.
That's...
as Terra doing what Terra does, trying to find our Amori, who does get bubbled off.
They're gonna get to 99.
And they do turn that around, buying them even more time on point 90.
And that's it.
6% on.
Rebuttal.
And they turn that fight around.
Right.
Incredibly well done.
Map 2.
By Sentinels who take map 1.
Dude, Sentinels are just
They're probably gonna swap back to the Star-Lord on this next one, man, on Throne Room, just because.
You think?
I don't know. That was just perfectly played against the Bucky. They wait out that team up. They also make sure they're not getting hooked, and then they just constantly play high grounds, make sure the Bucky is always down below. And then they also got Terra to off-sync his ultimate with Harvey, so Harvey would throw out his ult, and then they would still lose pressure. It felt like TTK would just like walk up with Harvey's ultimate, and they just get deleted. So a lot of things just did not go well for 100 Thieves there. With this comp, they have to change it up, and here we go. We're going to have Terra swap over to the Star-Lord.
Yeah, that bubble there by Crimzo and Aramori, and then immediately Aramori and Rymazing just bursting down the Bucky in that moment was really good to see. If you've seen a lot of those Kraken impact successes, that is one way to shut that down. You bubble whoever's getting dove, and then goodbye. That does not get reset anymore. It does not land. It does not continue. And it's just like that. They were able to turn that around because there was a small chance there that kept going and swept the team. But the entirety of the back line and front line while that was going on was taken out by Sentinels, who just diverted focus and still was able to turn around and help their strategists. So just an incredibly well done set of plays there by Sentinels, who have clearly been practicing against this composition.
You think?
Yeah, they really have been. Everybody's low, by the way, early on. Soulbond used to bring it back. Crimson into the sky with the Meteor M. Going aggressive. They want to take the space right now. 100 Thieves, though. Disengage.
I gotta learn some Adam Warlock.
Fight with their own ults.
Yeah, the problem with going through those portal plays out the rip is we do see cooldowns. Kalush going to take out Terra, though. Nice start there as the numbers are back in their favor. Terra's going to res back up, so numbers are even. Eye of Agamotto, an insane play again. Going to get damage boosted to find 2, 3, 4. more. And
Kaluge Doctor Strange is just nuts.
Kaluge is doing it again. Has yet to have a failed Eye of Agamotto. That jump, that initial
Seriously feels like
jump was added in during season 1 and one of the balance patches to give him a little bit more speed. And if you utilize that with the Eye of Agamotto, it does make it far more difficult to counter because it just gives you that momentum, that speed to make the play, especially if you're going up in height, because you ultimately stay level with the floor and don't have to fall back down. You just use that momentum and immediately start the ultimate. And Kaluge just keeps doing that successfully.
Look at that push, dude. He just gets in their face.
Get 4 picks. Here we go in the next fight as we do see unlimited ammo get popped out, and we are going to see the amazing pop of that Soul Resurgence. The team just going to drop back together. The entireties of both squads holding on as we do see ult advantage for 100 Thieves. Terra just waiting for that Kraken impact.
Dude, their aggression on the front line
going up with the
is
meteor
so
ram.
nuts.
Do they see value? Unfortunately not.
All right, here comes Terra, trying to do his thing.
Yeah. Terra again onto the back line. Not even a bubble at this time. There's 3.
He slept, but that's yeah, it's gonna be 100 Thieves.
Pop off res. I do as he manages to bring
no way, dude.
Fight, but the Kraken is still up. They could follow up. Oh my goodness, almost getting away with it. Not able to land that Kraken. Delena going to take out Gomez, and they are just battling this back. But at this point, the point has switched over. It's die and reset time. Potentially KO and reset as Delena is still holding on.
Is dead again. Then he going down.
Super Gomez getting one though, and it's turning back in their favor somehow. Right, Mazy going to take SJP Kurova on Vidi. What am I?
I'm telling you, I think it's because like their healers, their tanks are dealing a lot more damage.
Man. They're just coming back.
Like I think if you look at the stat screen after these matches, I think you're gonna see that it's not their damage dealers that are dealing all the extra. It's their healers and tanks are pushing out extra damage that other teams are just not building into their play yet.
Having Harvey now over the Loki,
not to that level.
They're making 100 Thieves have to adapt, and right now it's going to cost them a map if they don't win here.
And Amazing gonna pop that one more time.
It's gonna cost them the championship if they don't figure it out.
Early pick. Aramori on the Delena. Kaluge on the TTK, not able to get that off. Oh my goodness, it is a stomping now. Sentinels are feeling themselves, and they are not backing down. The train is rolling, and it cannot be stopped as Kurova drops Terra, and they're back to the spawn door again. They better have teleport up, or this is over. At this point, TTK trying to get back to point, and the team is gonna try to reset back, but it doesn't look like the portal is up, and that is gonna be a W again for Sentinels.
Wow.
Yo, we talked about how 100 Thieves can be a team that is momentum based, and
you think,
there's a lot of very interesting personalities in this roster right now. Sentinels up 2-0,
maybe a little momentum based,
but there's a ton of personalities in 100 Thieves, and sometimes it's just like a matter of hard-headedness potentially. I imagine. I don't know the full details of 100 Thieves. I just know like there could be a lot of discussions happening behind the scenes right now, especially in the grand finals where it all matters, right? And Terra, for as well as he did on many different heroes on that on the Bucky or swapping over to the Star-Lord, they've tried to change it up so much, and right now they're not finding the answer to Sentinels, who right now in triple strategist, this feels like their meta to win it all.
Yeah, we were maybe having a conversation during the MRI about how this may not be their meta, but they...
Okay, so we get to see Groot this match, which is awesome.
They don't want to actually play
it. Adam Warlock's still in.
Playing this Groot matchup with Kaluge on the thing. This is going to be the first time we're going to see a lot of Kaluge on that hero ship.
I really like Groot, man.
See how he does.
Yeah, and we are going to have Crimzo back on his tried and true.
Gotta play more of
there
them.
comes the Groot. I am Groot.
I am Groot.
Little side note here.
I am Groot.
You can actually listen to Groot's thoughts. You actually hear him speak.
I am Groot.
It's so cool. Instead of just saying I am Groot, you actually hear him talk to her. So really, really cool little side note there. I think that is just like those little details and how much these devs truly care about the game and understand the heroes. And with all these map designs, like they absolutely crush this. These devs do not sleep, man. So really fun, really cool little detail.
Yeah, the lore in this game, like they've done
on a little different composition. Aramori going to be using that
they've done these characters a lot of service.
Which is now going to be obviously with the Strange Gun on the thing.
Does Emma Frost talk to Jeff too, or no?
That's a good question.
I'll be curious because they let the Groot voice actor out of his cage saying only I am Groot, but now hopefully they let the Jeff one out. But Kurova, oh my God.
Oh God.
Opening pick on Terra early
the Jeff voice actor.
Yeah, numbers early in their advantage. No, wait, surprise!
From
Kurova, I must have just missed it as they're still holding on. No Kurova's back, so they
Sentinels got
point. On this fight again. Sentinels still managing to
Lena's
push through.
already dead.
Kevin Kaluge gonna find Delena. Bang down goes Delena. Numbers still holding on here as there are gonna be no. Oh, the Warlock was not on the side of 100 Thieves.
We get to see some Super Gomez Star-Lord.
And man, Sentinels are just not losing any of these fights at this point. The confidence is off the charts, and they're keeping this train rolling back.
Kurova's dead. Kurova's back.
For days. Kurova gonna
must have used his
just at this point, keep this space. They can't get through. There is no
his Lacoon cocoon.
So it's all about just holding this choke. That early fight being in their favor. It's all about how long
that team up ability is too broken. If they're gonna leave it in the game, I think they should make it only once per map.
We do see Crimzo get one. TTK turning that right around and evening out those numbers. Super Goma's going to take out Vinny, and it is once again on the favor and on the side of Sentinels, who are slightly up in this, but Kraken Impact is ready. This team is playing on their heels right now, unlike we have ever seen for 100 Thieves, and they do have to figure it out.
This is where they need to go, like Spider-Man Venom.
Yeah, this is
and
like insane from Sentinels. Kurova opening pick into this, man. So now 60% of the board. We're very close to the last fight already on round number 1 on Hell's Heaven. 100 Thieves now walking in. Tara, that's the elimination.
Tara with a big pick,
team up.
And Kurova.
Maybe that'll be enough, but Kurova does have that self-res, so he'll come back.
Oh, big pull on Groot.
So, meanwhile, pulled, but it's met immediately by
and he goes in. Nothing.
Really well done on the bond there to keep Crimzo
wasted
up,
all.
And immediately followed with another set of crystals from Aramori. Delena gonna find Super Gomez. Tara taking out Aramori.
The Delena ult, on the other hand, gonna get it done.
Now getting these picks is gonna matter. 84% already on the side of Sentinels is a tough look, but 100 Thieves do a good job
100 Thieves gets 3 take.
Those ultimates as they're still
89%.
All right. 3 here, working their way up towards 4.
So pretty much one lost fight is over.
They need to play this with insane focus and understanding in terms of not overcommitting.
Definitely like a little bit more room than 11%.
There is no teleport back. It's all about ensuring that they get as much value with this Strangling Prison, with this Cosmic, and with this Invisible Boundary as they can, because if they do mess up one time, the first map goes over to Sentinels.
They're walking up right now. Sentinels are, like you said, there's so much pressure on 100 Thieves back right now. They do have ultimate advantage at the very least, but they need to take advantage of said advantage. They sit back.
All right, what we got for ults?
Well, slows down this team up right now, and they're just going to wait it out. They want to.
On 100 Thieves, we got Rocket, Groot. Oh, there you go. You want Groot into Rocket, Bucky. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They did it. They used everything. Oh, nice. Oh. Wow.
As Tara doing Tara things, but they did use virtually every single.
They did use everything, but
will be close, so we'll delay on this next fight. But Crimzo, Super Gomez, Kurova are very close, and Aramori for Sentinels. This next fight could be in their favor, and it could mean
this is gonna be a close first map for sure.
As it is going to be dependent on this first take, and it looks like at this point the advantage is on Sentinels, but 100 Thieves is showcasing how strong they are in these moments and making things happen there with Tara.
Yeah, TTK needs to be as good and this character as the thing as Vinny was earlier. Crimzo throwing out the ult early though. Connects onto this back line.
Oh, what?
Ultimate, but it pans
That's
out. However,
nasty.
Gomez's life can res, however, back into the fight because of Kurova.
Oh, okay.
Just really good position
Adam Warlock changing the entire fight.
Happening. Just a really strong, insanely strong Warlock.
And
I don't, I'm surprised that he's still allowed in here as they're not running it on the opposition. Kurova dealing a ton of damage again. As we talk about, I'm going to be chasing in here.
Their ability to just push tempo is nuts, dude.
Not only a strange player, I can play the thing as well as they do take map 1.
Jeez. Sounds so good.
Woo. Map 1 on Hell's Heaven. Was closer than the other. Was closer than Royal Palace at the very least for Eldritch
Hell's Heaven.
400 Thieves. They look pretty decent in the 2-2-2 composition. I think that they could keep playing it and have a competitive match. But I don't know what happened. Just the result in TTK not being able to get a good ultimate off. It really was just Crimzo with that cross map ultimate. I mean, that was ballsy, man. You don't usually see people just yeet the Groot ultimate that far and it doesn't get caught by like a Magneto shield or a Groot wall or something. So Crimzo with the yeet of a century and 100 Thieves. I mean, what do you do about that? They just sat there and all.
Was Magneto banned out in this game? I believe he was, correct?
He was.
And Strange as well. So right now, they just kind of have free roam at throwing these things from downtown. There's no easy pop-up on a shield. You got to get a Groot wall up, which, you got to place that. But it's a little slower than just click and right-click here or whatever ability you have to bubble, etc. But that was just a downtown throw, just an absolute Hail Mary, but it found value. And just Super Gomez just dashing in and just putting some serious damage into SJP in that moment, potentially winning them that fight. So we do send in here onto map 2 for game 3 as Sentinels are just looking, again, still incredibly strong in each of these fights. It does not look like the 100 Thieves that we know.
No, Sentinels.
Sentinels just has such
making
nice
100 Thieves feel
entries
uncomfortable.
into all these fights, and
Although
then
100
once they
Thieves
take the
finally
tempo,
have
they
to mention
just
this upcoming
rarely
fight.
give
Super
it up.
Gomez early commit, no Stratus ultimates to counter
Alright,
it, but the
Super
disengage
Gomez
from 100
to.
Thieves gives up this point. Sentinels
Did
trying
they
to
get
catch
that
the
with
first
no
Vinny.
support
Is
ult?
going to be there to touch though, so 100
Counter?
Thieves aren't giving up just yet. Delena
Wow.
also coming through on the top side, forcing more cooldowns.
Wow, that's
out with
actually
his very own
impressive.
ultimate.
Yeah, good
So now 100 Thieves should be back in the driver's
the
seat.
Soul Resurgence. Get the team in Kaluge gonna follow up and immediately
No, they
take
picked
out
TTK.
Goes out, but the stun to follow up. Kaluge gonna shut that down right in its tracks as the team is gonna try to res, but they're still holding position. It's all about buying time now. Right, amazing. Staying in the off angle. Oh my goodness. No way. Taking out Terra through the invisible boundary. So well done. Just the game sense there. Super Gomez gonna follow up on Delena, and Sentinel still finding value.
That's really what it is. It's
When they're
game
down
sense,
all.
and like
Amazing,
their
just showcasing how strong
supports
Mantis can be. Mantis
contributing
going to get a
in
slight
so
change
much
in the next
better ways,
season,
and
still has
their
that offensive capabilities, but just
tanks.
slightly less health, able to stack
Like,
a little bit of that healing damage. So we will
I'm
see a
telling
slight
you,
change there,
nothing
but
against their DPS.
really,
They seem
really
awesome.
strong
Super
play here again
Gomez
by Sentinels.
and
Can't say it enough. 100 Thieves has to figure it
really
out here.
just
Just
Super
not able to
Gomez.
get value out of these ultimates, especially when you've got Aramori's crystals ready, you've got Kurova's bond ready. There's just so much counter available with all of these ultimate counters here from these strategists.
Gomez into the sky, goes for a very early ult.
goes another one.
There with the follow-up, and yeah, that's everybody gone. No res, bring them back. But I think, by the way, on that Groot ultimate, as 100 Thieves gets cleaned up like the freaking janitor of Sentinels.
trouncing 100 Thieves right now.
I think what happened was Amazing spamming pings. I imagine
Nuts.
the Groot ult goes out, everybody into the everybody that can frontline. I imagine goes
look at
into
him, too.
the boundary, and then they just ping the people that are stuck in the
So-
ult, and then Ryan Amazing just follows up on that. So really good teamwork, I think, that we don't.
They're just
really
gonna
see in the
use
spectator client.
Their ults
Right now, Sentinels
pretty much
70% of the board.
defensively
Ultimate
to
advantage,
counter
man. 100 Thieves, they need a prayer.
what
of an ult
you know.
right
They
now.
know they're gonna try to go
Call out
Vinny
there. I
and
like
oh my
the
god, they
decision as Amazing
picked
finds Vinny. Immediately Super Gomez on
picked
Terra.
Vinny. Wow,
Not even
they
utilizing
picked
these
Groot right
two, they
away.
don't need 'em. But here we go. There might be one now. Right,
Terra's
Amazing. Yeah,
dead.
I did see it coming as Soul Resurgence goes
That's
out
it.
to get the team up, but Kaluge is going to just collapse on these strategists.
Jeez, dude.
85% moving towards game 3. Can they be stopped? They
Game 4.
cannot.
Moving
Just
towards
walking
game
through here,
4.
as there's a very small chance they're able to touch and try to find an off angle
Match
somehow.
point.
But they're forced to use the prison. Gomez going to get one. Kurova another. Terra trying to work their way back with that.
Why are they coming out?
Impact, but no, it doesn't
'cause
matter.
they have to.
Still fighting a few. Does get the reset. Kind of working through it, but it doesn't matter when the win goes to Sentinels.
he gets the pick
for
afterwards.
Game 3. Can they do the sweep to turn this into 7 consecutive W's against 100 Thieves?
Wow, that's
Oh
right.
my
I forgot
God,
that they
Sentinels
3-0'd
looking
him.
good, man, and we might have got spoiled considering we saw the fans and Protects coming through for the next map already. But trust
Yeah.
me, believe you and me,
Yeah, we
we're
already
trying
saw
our
the big
best to
fan.
not get spoiled in this series. But
So
I don't
Adam
think we're gonna
Warlock
change
gets
that anyway, man. Like that was
Adam
absolute
Warlock gets
dominance by
banned,
Sentinels,
which I think is good.
which leads us into the next map, obviously
Groot
coming up, where
gets
they're
protected.
they're terrifying in their
Right,
triple
just-
strategist. I mean,
they're not gonna
Kaluge
skip it. They're gonna
has
do
value
the
out of like
commercial.
every single ult, man. It feels like
Watch the
there's
highlights and
pretty
take a
good
break if
reason
they
why
do.
This guy was picked up for this team, man. He's been so good with his ultimates.
Yeah, I mean, shutting down that Strangling Prison combo there with the clobbering time was actually insane and so smart. Finding that
Actually
natural cover. I don't even
insane.
think they saw him hit that really strong Strangling Prison, and they were following up with Kraken Impact. Started the impact, got a ton of damage out. Crystals were popped, I believe, by Aramori to hold on, install it, and then the stun comes in, and nobody can follow up at all. So
Nobody.
beautiful play there. They're really figuring this out, and let's dive in and check out those highlights of that match.
All right. Ooh, Delena with the pick. The double. The triple. Quadra kill. That was like the only highlight he got that match. I'm hard pressed to not say that this is Jover. I mean,
and keep finding
looking like it's
success.
about to be
Don't change
7.
it if it's working, and it is working.
Martinez
for
just
them
got to
as we
be
get into the first half.
super deflated right now. Yep, there's
Immediately
the Adam
ban out
Warlock.
Adam. Like we said, we kind of saw the gist of this. Obviously, we don't know how the map did or is
Hella,
done,
they lock
but
in
the Hella
Groot.
ban on the other
I think
side.
the other one locks
Sentinel's
in
been so
Rocket.
consistent with their ship. I mean, they're always going to ban that out. 100 Thieves, though, kind of have some choices, right? Because the
I
group's
am
going to
Groot.
get through, and then would you ban the Namor or what?
I didn't see the rest of it, though.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you see that again. I'm curious. I do think that's a smart ban. I do like seeing the Warlock ban because they were even trying to run Star-Lord without Warlock in that last comp, and it just...
Oh, yeah, Bucky.
Against the full Guardians comp, that's just... It's like a recipe for
It
disaster.
just feels so
Such an
desperate,
advantage on the
though. Like,
opposition
Terra's
running a
just...
very similar
Terra's
comp with a
Bucky's
much
great
more
and all,
impactful
but,
piece.
like...
So getting rid of Warlock right there is something I think they maybe
not
should have
enough.
done
It's just not
earlier
enough.
in the series, but...
They have to
I do like
rethink
this
how
change
they're
now,
using
and
it.
100 Thieves locking in that Bucky. You know how good Terry
What
is
they're
with that
doing
Bucky.
when they're not
I
using
haven't seen a
it.
ton of Wolverine play here either, but they can run this comp, and we've made this conversation. We've had this conversation offline about this team, 100 Thieves. They get beat up and then they bounce back like the Hulk. They're Bruce Banner. They get mad and they come back.
Yeah, we'll
So
see about that.
I have no doubt that they can make something happen here.
I've seen them do that to a few
up
teams like
and getting
FlyQuest
rid
and
of, the Magneto again.
Shroud
And
X,
that's also
but
been working for them, forcing TTK to play Strange.
they don't seem like
instead
they're
of
going to
his
do that
very
against
successful Magneto.
Sentinels.
Yeah, right now I'm wondering if Sentinels, you know, are not terrified of 100 Thieves in their composition with that with the Bucky, right? That's been a consistent we've seen throughout. You know, this is the first
Both
time
are
we're going to see
running
100
Groot.
Thieves try to ban out that Atom
Ooh.
throughout the series, at least.
Delana
you know,
taking
they've hit
on
the upper
Bucky.
bracket,
Terra bringing
but
in
Sentinels maybe more
Wolverine.
or easier to beat on a 2-2-2 type of composition. Regardless, they get rid of that Magneto, force TTK to play Doctor Strange instead of that Mag. Make sure those bubbles can't come through for anything with the Wolverine.
Yeah, someone who plays a ton of Strange, I love to see Kaluge just rocking Strange almost consistently every time he's available. It just shows that this hero
Kaluge on
absolutely
Strange is
playable.
nuts. He's
Right
so
now,
good.
Doesn't need any sort of composition, doesn't need the Hulk for the Gamma team up, can just get the job done right now. Obviously, we're going to see a little change coming up here in Season 2, but we'll discuss that as we get to it. We do see Sentinels they're going to be running the triple Vanguard composition off the rip. This is what they're
Neo
quote,
Tokyo
known for outside of that Guardians comp. This means they're
Here
gonna
we
be holding
go.
very tight. I have no doubt.
Map 4,
that
game
they're gonna be
4,
holding the
match
Splendor
point.
if they're running triple Vanguard because they can teleport right back if they lose. And yes, we do see that off the rip. Very tight hold. This is something that we're seeing a lot more teams at this level of play do, because why not? You can teleport back in, hold as tight as possible as TTK finds Gomez early. Kaluge going to turn that around. Amazing on Terra, getting rid of that pass and an early pick, as Amazing is going to be on the
100 T off to an early lead here.
As much, but a very strong Bucky player, Ed Namor, and that's a good pull there.
Getting a big pull.
Terra, but Terra is able to escape, dash back, and the fight now being pushed back towards where you may see the first fight normally begin. But unfortunately, since the team did not wipe, there will be no portal play, so that hold early just going to kind of stagger them a little bit. I guess you can see the downside here as TTK takes out Amazing.
Yeah, 100 Thieves looking solid here.
Far more like themselves as Vinny takes out Aramori, takes out Kurova,
ready to go.
TTK on Kaluge, and 100 Thieves is starting to look more like themselves.
Yeah, they really are. And right now, they're going to potentially look for that portal play that could come through. Groot Wall's out of the spawn, too. Interesting to see that. Just kind of scouting right now, seeing what they're going to do.
left trigger.
Any changes, not really for Sentinel's side. Going to come back in with Super Gomez on the Star-Lord, who's just harassing, it looks like.
I think another nerf they need to put into the game for Strange Portal is that you can't see opposing players as they use it.
Instinctively, Kurova going to pop that invisible boundary just to keep them on the point. And there's the tackle outside. Well done there by Terra. TTK to follow up on Crimson and Kaluge. 100 Thieves
looking clean. Clean first push here.
On Amazing. 100 Thieves is now
right, do we have a match?
They don't want this to end like this, and they want to get a W under their belt.
It's interesting that we don't see Sentinels playing their very own Wolverine. Maybe they think without the Magneto, it's not going to be that good, but usually we see Super Gomez play to that character. I know that he's super good on the Star-Lord, and this is a decent Star-Lord map, but not prioritizing the Wolverine is definitely an interesting play for Sentinels. We'll see if it pans out as the last fight there was ultimates involved and stuff, and Kurova used his boundary, so we'll see in the upcoming fight how it goes. This will be a difference maker potentially with Vinny with the Groot ultimate.
Yeah, going against a Groot, or going against a Wolverine as a Groot is terrifying. We make the joke about the scratching post all the time, and he's just sharpening his claws on Groot's back. So it is very scary and terrifying. But when you have crystals up, when you have Kurova on the invis, being able to focus on the push and pull, Amazing gonna jump in, really gonna follow up, gonna get one on Vinny, and it gets returned. The Kraken impact right back, but Amazing's up again.
All right, Sentinels getting the Bucky going himself. Not the easiest spot for a Bucky ult.
As Super Gomez takes out TTK and shoves them back into the spawn door. Delena going to be on the Bucky, obviously, as Terra is on the Wolverine. A little bit of a change up there from their previous
that is such a
Terra can
strange
be on that Bucky as well. Delena clearly able to make that play happen. Delena obviously hasn't been able to play.
Why would you use that there?
On the TTK, the pull there from Amazing to
Get
shove
the
TTK
TTK
back into
kill.
the team.
Wow.
Not able to stuff it with the shield, and that's an unfortunate stagger, just buying them
That is
even
a
more time
really
on the
good
defense.
stagger.
Yeah, Mori copied early. That's why we saw the invisible boundary out there, waiting to use it last second. Found out they didn't really need it, and just had to throw it out there. But that was, I didn't think they would get any value.
Is that what it was? Aramori used the
circumference
invisible
in,
because
Amazing
it already
with a
popped
huge
ult. I
pull,
see, I
and
see.
now Super
No,
Gomez.
oh my god, dude.
Over the top, pick up onto the left.
Gomez.
Yeah, the amount of ting-ting-tings you heard there, that just goes to show you how strong Super Gomez is. He does fall there from TTK. Aya Bagamoto goes out, doesn't get value there. Nowhere immediately to be the barrier, but Amazing still finds one pick off that, so that is worth it in the end, and it did force out that invisible boundary. So once again, it is a bit of a trade
And
here.
nice ult.
Right back does find a few, but and is going to take out Kurova mid-ultimate. That is a ton of value there for TTK. Getting that pick during a strategist ultimate is...
Yeah, 102 looking a lot better right now.
And now Terra looking for that Strange.
We got 2.5 minutes for this push.
Is going to sweep a few, and 100 Thieves with ult advantage does take that fight, and now it is looking like a game.
Yeah, it's these Aya Bagamotos that you need to hit in TTK. One of the best Dr. Stranges. Kalush has sort of been free farming in his own. Now TTK finally back on a comfort pick.
Gomez going for a flank here.
We'll see if he can keep it up, but obviously this next fight is going to be all reliant on Vinny and Terra. Super Gomez, meanwhile, with the flank, could be huge. Looking for the angle, going into the top of the map with his own Guardian.
Wow. That was an
Okay.
awesome decision there to take the hype before this happened, not allowing that group combination with the last stand from Wolverine, trying to find one.
Wow.
And does find one as TTK goes down.
Another
That is
TTK
so
pick.
worth it before this fight begins. You can combination the Strangling Prison with the last stand with the Wolverine, which can be very sharp. So very smart here. Super Gomez.
Wow, Gomez is nuts on Starlord, dude.
Is going to think about getting the spin to win. It's a very strong position.
Definitely like a I don't know if he's the best or not, but he's definitely like a top 2 or 3 Starlord in the world from what I can tell. He's played it so much today, and he's just like...
It does have ult up at
so
this
good.
point, so it is very much on
Not only is he annoying, but he actually gets the damage done. Like I know Starlord players that are like really good at being annoying. Being annoying and dealing consistent damage, that's a lot harder. He's hitting a lot of headshots and a lot of full body shots.
But will it be enough? Kalush falls from Terra, and again, 100 Thieves are looking really good on these pushes. Still have ult advantage as Kalush is the only one with one coming back.
Looks like Wolverine might be the X factor.
For 100 Thieves.
Pun
Yeah,
not
should be
intended.
point 2 indeed. It's so hard to come back into fights with Doctor Strange against Wolverine just because of how much damage Wolverine does, some of the highest DPS in the game.
He's
And
got the flank.
2 minutes and 34 seconds. 100 Thieves going to the third phase of the map. They're looking all sort of. To me, it looks like 100 Thieves is sometimes all out of sorts, but
Yep,
there's
there
the
goes
team that can
Wolverine.
come back so consistently. Early pull
And
again
dead.
by Terra, but he's caught
Okay,
out
they get
this
the
time
Terra
and goes
pick.
back in by Kurova on Invisible Woman.
Can
Great
they
job
hold
from
him for the next
and
2
now
minutes and
100
15
Thieves push
seconds?
back again. Sentinels holding on to this first point. Ultimates do kind of favor Sentinels right now, and 100 Thieves in these sort of fights haven't been winning, but they build up.
Well, I like
those
this
ultimates last
position from
second,
Loki.
and They have a pretty good time bank to work with right now.
Oh, that's a ton of damage there out of Terra. As you see, Aramori set up those clones in a firing line. Terra's going to take out Crimzo, and that is that scratching post. Aya Bagamoto goes out. Will they follow it up here as Terra?
Kalush with another decent ult.
Likely going to make it happen. TTK trying to find one as Amazing
Wow.
goes down. There goes the Kraken impact.
All right,
Super
100
Gomez
Thieves
gonna
back
take
on the
out
push.
with him to try to even it out. But
Making a
unfortunately,
final push. They're not going down without a fight.
Out on the field now, trying to match that problem. You did say it was going to be a difficult situation to run group without a Wolverine, and they do make that happen. SJP on Kalush, Terra gonna fall, TTK taking out Crimzo, and 100 Thieves is through 1.3.
Crimzo, ill-advised ultimate there. Already down so many players on his own team. Down Super Gomez, who pulled off.
What's interesting about Wolverine
Your ultimate not going to be in this fight now, and that's something that could have really helped out Sentinels last second.
is
here,
like
last
things that
moment
are good
with a
against
minute
traditional
left.
dive like Namor
Yeah, and
are
this
not
is
as
some
good.
positioning here. I'd like to see that. Obviously, Harvey, just a really good Loki. And having that amount of clones, as Delena going to take Kalush very early on in the fight. Terra going to be taking out Aramori, and this is looking heavily in 100 Thieves ending this
Wow,
right now
100
with 3
Thieves.
points, or at least taking this all the way through.
What a match.
As they do see a pop-up here from the ultimate from Kurova to try to stall until the team gets back. Now it's all about
What a
it. There's gonna be
match.
big ultimate, but I'm not sure there's going to be enough as Harvey takes out Crimzo, TTK
Oh,
on
Super
Kurova,
Gomez did
and
switch
that's
to
gonna do it
Wolverine,
with a
but a
3-point push,
too little too late.
Ensuring that, if anything, this goes to OT.
Way better out of 100 Thieves. Banning out the Adam Warlock has
Yeah, it
been
was
a
clean.
catalyst for them succeeding. I'm surprised Super Gomez didn't want to swap to the Wolverine till the very
Clean
end.
push.
And,
Steady
you know,
the whole way.
It's kind of crazy that Sentinels did
All
pretty
created
well on the
by
first point, but since then,
Terra.
Super Gomez was like ignored. Like we saw him every time we were on Super Gomez POV ship, he was kind of just like doing whatever he wanted, man. And
Yeah.
They were just ignoring him. They didn't care. They were just like, we're just gonna hold front line and let Terra pop off.
Yeah, the aggressive plays have less threat when they don't have 100 lives. You know what I mean? So he's making these aggressive plays, and they're okay taking a little bit of damage because they know if they do find that pick, it's over, and it doesn't really matter. So he was taking a lot of aggressive angles. Yeah, was getting ult up, but didn't matter because they always had that counter with one of the strategies, ultimates to shove them through. They did struggle too. One of the things that I think was a little bit of a problem there for Sentinels is that triple Vanguard comp off the rip. It really just resulted in a stagger fest. If I'm trying to run triple Vanguard like that, I am heavy committing all or nothing and then teleporting in instantaneously because they weren't even able to use the teleport to touch. They had to use Aramori with the invisible boundary to get in there to touch
Triple
at the end anyway.
Vanguard.
So it was really, if you're going to commit to that, you've got to commit to it. It seemed like they didn't, and it just was kind of a tough timing situation. And 100.
Are we going to map 5? That's the question.
Still have 42 seconds on the clock as we, and like you're saying, I do think Gomez is an incredibly strong Wolverine.
See what Sentinels does now that they're under a little pressure.
Was probably a tough look for the defensive side.
Yeah, I mean, he's so good at it, like you said, and now in this case, there it is.
Oh.
I mean, early pickoff with the rocket rack.
Oh no, that's not smart.
TTK gone.
Luckily, it was early enough that the cart won't
that's
be
some good damage there. That is a tough situation to
too
burst
big
through.
of an
In the
issue, I
next
don't
season,
think.
there will not be unlimited ammo here for Bucky. So a little bit of a change up to the meta, that kind of stuff. I can't wait to see.
Bucky's gotta help run the cart.
Into these seasons, some shakeups here.
I hate to see it.
Coming. Can't wait to dive into it with all of you. So here we go.
All right, Bucky, go for a grab. What you got?
Early pick. Did buy that space. The teleport comes out. Now they know that cooldown is
Goes
gone.
for the group
They can
grab.
wall off should they need to. If they want to take point 1, they are ready for that. If they have to, up in the sky, I saw Terra waiting to try to find one of the
down to
Vanguards
half.
tackle back in. Maybe Crimson, maybe
graphic
Amazing, holding that top left angle and ready to fall, but being very patient as you need to be. As you see him up there, almost gets tackled right back, just barely and narrowly
It's getting
missed.
blurry.
As TTK is back in the fight with that teleport. Had to use it to get back, which is a tough look as a team, but definitely necessary here as they are taking this space and still owning it. Strange, one of the few Vanguards that can kind of handle the group with that jump, able to get over the walls should he be locked in, which is obviously not the case for something like the Thing who really struggles.
I was wondering what that was.
But cannot.
What is in the sky up there?
So gets caught there. So the let up. Dealing some more damage, 95%, ready to land and deal a ton with that Kraken impact. And we see Crimson Strangling Prison immediately going to get that boundary with crystals right back at him as the Strangling Prison gets returned. Up goes one as the Lena lands on the team, but Kaluj going to take out Terra, but the numbers back in their favor for Sentinels, who are keeping the pace moving forward and do have ult advantage here as Kaluj is ready to launch his Eye of Agamotto before TTK by about 10%. Aramori with the invisible boundary goes out now. Eye of Agamotto falls. I'm not sure if it landed on anyone just yet. No picks as we get the return here. TTK
massive.
Find some success. TTK getting some vengeance there. Immediately gets tackled. A great push off there.
100T's looking
to keep TTK
looking a lot better on this map. A lot better with this comp.
Wolverine tackle.
Yeah, nice peel from TTK. We talked
Wolverine
about
might have just gotten a ban next game.
You saw it there. Blocks off the damage coming in from Kaluj on his own Eye of Agamotto.
It just changes. It changes the
boundary, which was a
the way it plays a little bit too
I believe
much.
it was Aramori, and now 100 Thieves. You know, that's exactly the fight they need to win. They were constantly on the back foot in these neutrals, right? And 100 Thieves, TTK brings them back into it. Terra also with the last stand ready to go. Same thing with Super Gomez. We'll see which Wolverine finds the better of their scratching post in this fight.
And here we go with the next
Nice,
set of fight.
dude, what a mess.
Aramori with a nice
Big pick on Delena.
Harvey finds the same success on Kurova. Terra taking out Super Gomez, saying, I am the wolf.
Super Gomez and Kurova, Kaluj all down. Wow. Yeah, 100T looking solid right now, man.
Crimson gets another. Will this go in their favor? Walls go up, and he does have Strangling Prison ready. Will they follow up with it? Will they commit?
It's crazy to me they don't have a plan for it.
Keep this thing pushing. Try to find some more success without burning it. Keeping that forward as there's 60 seconds on the clock, and there goes the last stand. And it is going to get matched up as they do keep things alive. Strangling Prison very shortly, trying to get him off the
all right, here comes Grudel.
Potentially, Super Gomez doing a ton of damage to that scratching post, sharpening those claws. Down goes Vinny as Super Gomez finds another, and this looks like they may own this point as Kaluj takes out Delena, and once more Sentinels are on top on this fight.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, they were just able to get the
did not see that coming.
The trades there with Amazing committing that.
The staggering going on right now is actually really bad for.
Sentinels now move on to the second phase of the map. Only did it with 30 seconds left, though, so not exactly the biggest time bank of all time, but regardless,
yeah, 100T, no matter what, will have an advantage at the end of this.
From Crimzo there to make sure they could get that Groot on Vinny's side, and then Super Gomez in these neutrals getting the kidnap so consistently. Terra has been doing the same, though. in that fight. I think
So
Terra
Amazing
did
has
actually have a
ults,
pretty good
Kalush has
opening,
ults. So if they can
but
get
Right
a
Amazing
Aya
with the
Agamotto
crash impact to
into
help Sentinels
Bucky.
collapse, and now Collusion and neutral takes down Terra looking for the kidnap. You found your counterpart, and that's
There goes the
huge.
house.
What an opening pick.
Oh,
for
huge pick.
Sentinels moving forward.
Wow.
Yeah, these neutrals are just
haven't
going
even had
in
to use
Sentinel's
their
favor.
ults.
You're right, like these picks are very impactful, and it just kind of gives them so much space before we start doing these ultimate fights. And you mentioned a really good opening by Terra, and I agree. I think 1 or 2 picks potentially still getting turned around, as we saw just in
Wolverine stalking its prey, looking for the pick, and he's got it.
Need to. Nice attempt by Terra, but those pushes from
How do you
Invis
get
are
out?
life-saving. Really well done. Again, just holding on to that cooldown, knowing Wolverine's in there. That's what you want to see, and that's what you hope for in ladder when you have an Invis and there is against a Wolverine. Just do not use that ability until you see Wolverine around, and ensure you keep your team up. And there goes Aya Agamotto.
Goes for it. Bucky ult to follow.
TTK not allowing that great stuff by TTK to ensure the
Crimzo? I thought Crimzo died. Oh shit, here we go. It's gonna be a massive fight right now.
Actually, pretty even on both sides. Harvey gonna match
Can't believe
that, and
they
there
let
goes
him get the
Venn
cart that
diagram,
far.
if you will, of double invisible boundaries.
Well, it's 'cause of
And
those
now it's all
picks.
about the fight. The last
Let
stand
them-
gets
let the
popped. Not
picks
sure the
happen.
value just yet. Nobody falls. Aya Agamotto gets shoved away. Well done again.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, really well done.
Wow.
by Kurova to keep the team up.
Sentinels
Crimzo gonna
nuts.
find Terra. TTK, another boundary gets popped, but I don't think it's gonna matter at this
That's gonna
point.
be-
as the numbers
that's
are
gonna be it for
heavily
this fight.
in Sentinel's favor. Walking this in, our Morial try. Amazing gets one. Follows up with a clone takedown. Make that 2 as Harvey falls. There's the reset on another
get
clone.
those
to
clone
Amazing,
takedowns.
who's just gonna prep for the next fight. Getting another pick in there, right on SJP. SJP goes
All right,
on
we're going third point.
Buying time, taking clones, ensuring that they're patient.
It's looking like overtime.
You're playing Bucky, and then you just launch it into the ground because why not?
Yeah, why
See what
not?
happens.
Indeed. I mean, that was a combination of, like you said, Kurovo, insane pulls throughout the series so far. Absolutely top tier Invisible Woman. And then Super Gomez somehow there with the follow-up in the drag to bring back TDK in the middle of the ult. And now they're just able to take advantage. Sentinel's playing incredibly aggressive again. 2 minutes left to go in the third phase of the map.
See ya.
Yeah, Sentinels need to push this to OT. Gomez with that pick like that, it might go in their favor. Last stand is ready. There's still 2 full minutes at 4 fights roughly, or 3, and then a touch fight. And it's still in a good position here. They do have 42 seconds on the clock here.
Oh no.
As we're back in,
Dude,
42
the
seconds on the clock for the side.
production.
Oh,
Why does
Harvey
production always
Sentinels still have a minute to still
always
tie
suck
that
in these
up. Will they be able to keep
situations?
the numbers even? Right, Amazing with a nice
Like
pick
the
on
worst
Vivian.
time
That
to do
is
this.
Very huge off the rip. Gomez gonna find a few.
Wow.
As they do fall up in sweep 5, and that is enough to shove
No
them
way.
in. Oh my goodness, 100 Thief holding on to 4 ultimates here, and it looks like they're not gonna be able to use a single one.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Saving him for MRC Season 2, it seems, because
Saving them for MRC
man, it
Season
looks so
2.
good. Minute 41 seconds on the clock. So you're going to get some extra time back in the bank for 100 Thieves. And yeah, I mean, both teams'
why?
offenses was so smooth, and that's crazy to see. I know that this is one of maybe the better
I still don't know
offensive
how
maps,
that
I think, for a
time
lot of teams, Spider
calculation
Island,
happens.
so
Like I know the minute
not a lot of
minimum. I know how the minute
strong
minimum works.
defensive
I think it's
angles,
anybody under a
especially
minute
without Hella in the
goes up
lobby,
to a minute.
but
Anybody
man,
over a
that
minute
was
gets
so
30
smooth
seconds added.
from Sentinels on their tech.
Yeah, I mean,
So if you're at
dude,
59
these guys
seconds
are looking so good right
versus
now.
a minute
I can't say it
1,
enough.
do you
Sentinels is
actually
just
is that if
clutch
that
after
if
clutch
that's how
play.
that
I mean,
works, that's really
strong
silly.
Defense and offense
It
from
should
100
just
teams in this
add-
game. They're looking much more like themselves. This looks much more
It
like
should
the
just
battle
add,
that I think
I don't know,
anticipated
45
seeing
seconds or
from
1
these
minute, let's say,
teams.
to
So
add
it's looking
anybody.
more normal, but Sentinels are just clutch in this moment. The fact that 100 Thieves ended that with 4 ultimates up, just getting absolutely slammed by Super Gomez, and followed up with Crimzo dealing some serious damage. Right, Amazing finding a pick there, and just the back line here from Sentinels has been so consistent, just not falling prior to any fight. A ton of good pushes there from Kurova, keeping that Wolverine play out of play. Aramori not afraid to switch up to whatever strategists they need, finding a lot of success.
There
with
we
the
go.
Loki
12
too.
seconds.
One thing I wanted to mention
Life
before
on
we
the
got to some of
line
those
for
fights is you'll
season
see
1.
here Aramori, and what a lot of these top Loki players play is they're not afraid. They don't
Thieves
set up
better
all
bring
these
it.
Lokis in crazy weird positions all over the place so that it's difficult to find all 3.
Any changes to
getting
the
value with
teams?
each hit. Instead, they create a firing line
No.
near each other so that all the accuracy, all the aiming goes to one spot, and you don't have to worry about natural cover and from 4 different directions. And it just does so much burst damage and healing. And we're seeing a ton of value from Aramori, who then follows up with a clone close by to use
Thieves
those
on a good
crystals
push
to
here.
save people in clutch moments while still having that firing line.
I love
line
Groot's
ready to
grenade,
rely on
man.
as we get into this
So
first
good.
fight right now.
Yeah, Aramori is a top tier player. Sentinels right now back on the defense as 100 Thieves. 30 seconds left already. Kidnapped. No,
Nice.
back by Kurova. Yet
What?
again on Invisible Woman. That passive out
That was
early.
nuts.
For Sentinels, they're probably pretty happy with down 100 Thieves. And the neutral
That
can have to
Invisible
do
Woman
a hook
grab
again
was
from
nuts.
Amazing and Sentinels. Gonna always worry about Super Gomez over the top of the kidnap, and he potentially could do it again.
And here we
go.
go.
They got the pick. They got the pick on Terra.
Taking out Terra early like that is very valuable. Trying to keep this moving
6 seconds.
Or shutting it down. Excuse me.
TTK's down.
Almost got that pull out of the sky. Doesn't matter. Crimzo taking
That's
out
gonna
TTK.
be
100 Thieves not able to get this around
big
the corner
danger.
It must stay on point. The timer slowly ticking. Will they be able to touch? Vinny goes down.
That's gonna be big danger.
Damage there. Up goes these ultimates. Super Gomez trying to put as much damage into it. Oh, good escape, but it doesn't matter.
Oh, no. He gets the kill anyway.
And wow. Again,
I think that might be it for 100 Thieves this season.
OT, and they've just got to push it around that corner.
North America PC Finals
you know what?
on the line.
This just feels like, at least on this map, we saw in Triple Strategist, I mean, it's a completely different way to play the game, but Sentinels right now, in this, it just, when you play the game without ultimates, it just feels like they do so much damage. They have so much pressure down range that 100 Thieves, for some reason, don't have. And I don't want to blame, like, any individual player or anything like that, but it does feel like I don't know, the front line, through strategists, through everybody. Super Gomez,
I don't want to blame anybody individual, but I'll narrow it down to 2.
And is giving them these opening picks or getting out early, you know, passive pop by Terra. Terra got fooled twice, I think, there by Super Gomez, and then again, twice again by Karova. So, I don't know. Karova's putting on an absolute masterclass performance on Invisible Woman. I would hate to play against him. I'd probably be in Karova's Twitch chat begging for a duo at this point because, like, dude is so freaking good on Invisible Woman. And the strategist players really they are what carry you, I feel like, in a lot of these games.
Yeah, understanding the max value of a cooldown, something like that push and pull only being used to shut down somebody who could get a ton of value on your
here we go.
Vanguard, and then consistently finding success. As we see Karova celebrating a little bit
doing the new
spin to win,
new hyper orange Venom dance.
Now I'm immediately going to switch over to Invis. So we do start off again. You're right.
Grand finals. Here we go. On the line.
Plays Karova doing a great job here. Just the sheer, I mean, the damage you can.
It'd be hilarious if they did a portal.
Invis alongside the healing burst.
Oh, okay.
And that boundary. And
I mean, that just goes to tell you, like, how good Kaluge is at Strange, because so many pro teams right now are only using him for, like, portals and
we will see a slight change in that shield,
you know, returning back to a
but we are gonna keep this going.
Returning back to a point.
The win. Sentinels gotta make something happen. Gomez right on the bow. Try to make a play on the Vanguard. Unfortunately, did not find success there. But I like the idea.
Oh, what? Terra had no idea where he was.
Potentially the passive out, but no.
I mean, no, but it's just funny. Gomez just kind of perusing the map. 1 minute left to go.
Not aware, Terra. Yeah, that's game. They're already at the point.
They're all towards the cart right now. Crystal's forced early for 100 Thieves.
That's it.
Oh, Gomez gonna find Vinny early, and that could be
enough.
That might be all it takes as Kaluge takes out TTK.
That is it.
In their favor now. They gotta stay on point, but it
may
not be able to happen for them as they are down 2 numbers. And just like
that
this,
is the season.
Take home the W. Sentinels with a clean sweep going
4-0.
7 straight.
7 straight off
100 Thieves,
wow.
The winners of the MRI, and now
the MRC
that they can get the job done and take home this W. Sentinels are your new MRC champions.
Wow. Well, congrats to Sentinels, man. They played amazing. They're so good.
Karova, well-deserved MVP after an incredible performance on Invisible Woman, and
GG's. That's gonna do it for me tonight.
You can't even you can't tell me before the tournament started anybody
we'll watch their highlights real quick.
Season. I mean, they've been through so much. You know, Coach coming in instead of Hogs. Hogs, obviously, really good Hulk player, really strong Vanguard player regardless. And, you know, Grimzo deciding he needs to take the head of, you know, playing a lot more of that route over him. And, you know, this team really came together when it mattered most and played at
I was most impressed by
congratulations to Sentinels for sure, dude.
Sentinels tanks
season.
And Super Gomez.
Even for MRI and then coming into
all right, we'll wrap it up here. Thanks very much, everybody. Have a good one.